Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
The first pitch to him. Line drive, base hit center field. Here comes Sanderson to score. Buck to follow. Welcome to 2026 Red Stokes. It's black magic here in the bottom of the ninth. And the Huskers have shattered the hearts of the Black Bears. They have rallied to win it. Another walk-off. Nebraska 8. Maine 7.
Threes can't get by Flemings. Karchenkov bangs home a three. Are you kidding me?
This is the only way you keep Onyenso out of the paint. And so you have to have him making plays.
Down the corner,
He ripped it away from him and put it.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Good defense, 2 seconds to go. Condon. Oh my goodness, a backbreaker. 51-42. Lindeborg take over mode. Oh, Smith, is he feeling it? Off the rim.
He's going to take Michael for dinner, I think.
Cadeau goes high, hooked by Mara, and he will flush it down. Rebound off the miss. Purdue has pulled it off. The Boilermakers will raise the trophy. They are the Big Ten Tournament champions.
Yes, and Nebraska has yet to win a tournament game in its program's history. This very well could be the year they do it. Earn that 4 seed with an outstanding regular season.
And they will have to do it against the Sun Belt Tournament champs, the Troy Trojans.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm mad I didn't take that money.
DB and I like to bet even off air.
Hey, Sash, do you want to know something? I think the world of you, but it's clearly very cold out, and so I'm sitting in my car. I got the car door open.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, it's just kind of sneaky. There's some sneaky slick spots because I was up at Westside before this already. And I'm fretting. I'm trying to get the heads that I want and be able to explain the whole deal today. And I walked in and I said to Ravi, I go, fudge. So my hands are ashy. I need some goddamn lotion. And Ravi goes, I bet Sasha.
Hold on. That's not how it started.
Okay, go ahead.
You go, there's no way Sasha has it.
No,
right?
I'm going to get to that.
Okay, because that's where it started.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. So
right,
I go, God, my hands are ashy, man. I said, what are the odds? There's no way Sasha has lotion. This just doesn't strike me as a hand lotion person. And Ravi goes, exactly. Ravi goes, oh, I bet you she does. I said, there's not a snowball's chance in heck.
No.
And he goes, yeah, like $10. I go, shoot, $10. Do I? And I'm so cheap. I'm like, I don't want to go down to $60. Ravi goes, do it. It's either going to be 60 or it's going to be 80. I bet you she's got lotion. I didn't take the bet. I said, no. And,
smart man.
And then when he asked you and you go, no, I was like, damn it. I thought Beware the Ides of March was yesterday.
You know what my thought process was there?
What?
She goes outside a lot for her breaks. And so I thought her hands probably get dry. She probably keeps lotion on her.
There's nothing about her vibe that says hand lotion.
I mean, listen,
not a thing.
I'm good about like moisturizing my face and wearing sunblock and stuff, but like, no, my hands are rough.
She's got them worker hands,
I can't believe I didn't follow my own instincts.
I mean, I think I came on too confident.
Yeah. No, not a snowball's chance in heck. Anyway, that's fine.
We should at different points just go through the office and decide who and who doesn't have hand lotion.
Yeah, I'm gonna think the odds
office
are really, really low.
There's gonna be a couple that have it for sure.
Shane strikes me as the type of dude that has Kevin Durant ankles.
Hey, that's a secret.
So I know that dude's out on lotion.
I don't think I've ever seen Shane wear shorts.
Yeah, I bet Shane's legs are hilarious. I mean, no, no disrespect. I'm sorry. It's too early for this. I just can't imagine what you're standing on, Shane. I have seen him in jean shorts though.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shane has some jean shorts.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
The hell I do.
This dude was in jean shorts, and he had the little chain with his wallet thing in it.
I think I'm almost.
And you had it with like, it wasn't a BMX shirt. It was like a yellow neon shirt with gray sleeves. I can see you the day
I do have a BMX shirt, but it's not yellow, it's red.
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm so surprised. Anyway, Shane, I bet you're just like, you don't miss leg day. There's no doubt. I'm sorry I even said that.
I think when we had our softball or our kickball thing a couple years ago, I think he wore jeans to that too.
Shane, if you had a gym membership, would you wear jeans?
No.
He said no.
Probably like sweatpants though. You're not wearing shorts, right?
Maybe.
No. All right, that's my.
It's all right.
That's my meltdown.
Learned enough about Shane this morning.
And Sasha too, apparently.
How was the weekend?
It was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I laid low. Caleb was home for a little bit when he wasn't with the Breezaks. And then it was quiet, man. Didn't do much. What we make? I don't think we even.
Did you even cook?
What was yesterday? Yesterday, one of the days was like homemade Chinese, so no big deal there.
Okay, I like Chinese food's good. I like Chinese.
Yeah, I think
you guys do that quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
That's no big deal.
And what was the other day?
I don't even recognize what we're doing.
You know what? It's weird too because
I don't even recognize.
We usually have leftovers.
Yeah, that is weird.
Oh, yesterday was cream of chicken and mashed potatoes, homemade.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I was branding a chicken. I set it outside. I didn't even put it in the freezer or refrigerator.
Yeah,
I just put it outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not feeling this weather.
I'm not so I brine the whole chicken because I've never really boiled meat.
Okay.
It's something I make fun of people for doing.
Sure.
But
Chicken sandwich.
But I wanted to make sure it was infused with.
There's
flavor.
a guy that we used to.
But then I seasoned I seasoned the water.
There's a guy that we used to work with that I used to say had boiled chicken energy.
Yeah, like But then I was talking to Boyce, and he said that he's got a recipe that he learned from some guys in the South where he boils the ribs first before he seasons them and puts them on the smoker, and it keeps them tender. And I was like, I guess that would be like sous vide, maybe.
Maybe.
I've never heard of it. I was like, does the
boiled rib sounds awful?
Does the seasoning take? And he was like, yeah. He said, check it out.
I wonder if you do it the right amount, if it actually like almost takes a little bit better. Like
he said it was super
bit.
tender. I mean, I was kind of intrigued. I was like, really?
It's an interesting concept.
I think of boiled anything meat, and unless it's for my dogs and I want to settle their stomach, I dry heave.
I'll say it makes me a little queasy.
Yeah,
like boiled meat is kind of like.
Who would give you boiled chicken vibes? I'm not letting you off the hook with that. What type of individual gives you boiled chicken vibes?
It was in reference to them being pretty quiet, which does not narrow it down at the old place at all. Not exactly.
I've never heard that as like.
I think I made it up as a descriptor. I think I did. Like I'd never heard it.
You give me boiled chicken vibes.
It wasn't, not exactly a bastion of diversity over at the old place, especially these days. But
yeah,
I mean, it's a guy we both like. I think.
Yeah, just super basic.
Pretty quiet.
I can't even say it like you. No, but I mean, a lot of sports. I mean, I'm into the WBC.
I was watching U.S. Dominican Republic last night.
I was probably the only one of the people in this room that was like wired to see what happened with women's basketball.
I mean, I was watching the selection show. I'll be honest. I spent a good amount of time on Troy last night.
Are you in and out of spiders? I saw your little Is that a vignette? Is that is that the right term? What's what he does?
Like the little videos?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if there's like an actual, like a proper term
I saw
for it.
that. I like the proper name pronunciation. Because
Theo Singh?
yeah, just in general. Like I thought you were gonna get into. I mean, I'm not a Troy expert, but I do watch.
I mean, I watched like 3.5 of their games last night, so I do feel like a Troy expert at this point.
and I was telling you about like Georgia Southern in that turn. Like that was actually
that Georgia Southern run in the tournament was wild.
Yeah, like that was an interesting tournament
because that was their 6th game in 6 days, and you could tell like the legs were gone.
Yeah,
like, they couldn't make a jumper.
I didn't want to argue really with anybody. I try to. Yeah, I'm a big facts over feelings guy.
Mm-hmm.
So. Like when I say something, sometimes I have to understand like it's just social media. So like if I say something, it's just kind of an isolated deal. And then I think sometimes people just look at that as a way to get their opinion out.
Mm-hmm.
So then I have to sometimes just bring it back to what it was, right? I mean, it started with.
I'll say, how are you feeling about the people that think this is a bad matchup?
I don't think they watch basketball.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah, I don't know how Troy's going to score. I mean, now,
so they're not a super athletic team. They have one guy that I would call a plus athlete.
What do you think of the Twins?
So they're weird. So Cooper's better than Kobe.
Yeah, but
in terms of like facilitating, but they can both shoot.
They both shoot it. Though.
Yeah, they both have a strap.
Yeah.
But they don't get a ton of attempts up.
Yeah, I would agree. Which I think, like, if you watch them enough, I think it's why the percentage is where it is, right?
For the team.
Yeah.
Because for the team, they're like low 30s, but both those guys are basically at 40.
Yeah.
And Dowd is not a bad shooter either. He's good enough to keep you respectable, but he's like in the mid 30s, I think. Like
I'm trying to envision, and that's what the scout is going to be for 4 days up until 11:40 tip. How they're going to initiate offense.
Yeah, so their offense is super weird because I
did what?
I told you I watched a lot of Troy last night.
See, I'm afraid sometimes, right? Because I was just talking about Duquesne the other day, and you're looking at me like, how does this dude know they were down 38-8?
Well, Nebraska doesn't play Duquesne, so I didn't do a lot of research.
I'm just saying, generally speaking.
I know. No, I'll be honest. Until last night, I did not have good familiarity with Troy. Now I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp on them. But their offense is super weird because I actually think there's a lot of guys on that team that are really good passers, but they don't know how to get into any action. Like they do a ton of like kind of lazy's not the right, like casual on-ball screens to sort of get into action.
I just call it they just show.
Yeah. And so it sort of almost feels like it almost feels like bad versions of like when everybody was trying to copy the dribble drive offense in like 2010. And you move a little bit and then everybody gets stagnant and then you kind of kick it back out and you move again. But they also don't have anybody that's just going to like beat you off the dribble either. So it's sort of a weird thing to hang your hat on. But there are like 4 guys on that team that are really good passers.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think they're going to junk it up, but I do think
they do throw a lot of weird defenses out there, though.
Yeah, so I meant like get it up on the. This isn't Creighton playing Cincinnati.
No.
You know,
like Dowd's a gifted rebounder, but nobody else on that team is.
Yeah, and so I think they will get sang back. I think for Thursday.
You think they will?
Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of a weird spot because Bellamy's been playing well.
I know, and we have a guy. We have a Troy guy. Shane, this will put you to the test because it's going to date you back to the targeting foul game from who's the free safety that was headhunting in Lincoln?
Larry Asante?
No, this is way past that. This might be year 1 or 2 for Frost.
Oh,
was it Frost? We played with a backup quarterback and Troy won here.
Oh, Riker. That's the Riker 5 game. That's year 1.
Is that one?
Yeah.
So we have a Troy guy, Shane, that we talked to that week. I don't know if you want to dabble.
Yeah, so that's 2018. Yeah.
How about that?
I'll say that's pretty good.
Well, you got your Troy colors on.
Oh, I didn't even mean to.
It's okay. Maybe like SC. Todd's bringing up old stuff with how they played SC. So maybe that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that was in November.
No, Chris, his name's Chris, but.
Good pull.
Well, I'm looking at the text right now.
Dude, that like from 2018?
From 2018, yeah. But I mean, he might be only football, but we can try and get him.
We can give him a shot. At the very least, he might know somebody that covers basketball.
Right.
What?
I just randomly mentioned a 2018 game in Troy, and Shane's like, "Oh, his name was Chris."
Oh, he's got so have you seen how he does his phone?
No.
So he does he puts their affiliation with their
No,
name.
I get it.
So he could just search Troy in his contacts and it'll pop up.
Well, he said he's looking at the text.
Well, yeah, he probably searched in the contacts and hit the conversation.
Just kept that thing on the old phone, Shaner?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he doesn't delete anything.
Wild.
Anything.
Dang. So when I talk bad about you, but it's just it's in the archives.
Where's the foul?
I mean, I understand the USC game. I get that. They also haven't played an opponent that had less than a 50 rating in Ken Palm since November.
Yeah, somebody called
except for Akron. They played Akron, and that was the one.
Somebody called me dumb yesterday because I didn't want Nebraska and OKC. Because as I'm kind of looking at this deal,
you were more concerned about matchup versus location.
Yeah, again, this is just me. I don't know who other than a fan would pick location over matchup.
I would agree.
It's March. It's all about matchups.
I would rather play in Portland or Buffalo or wherever. Tampa I don't care.
Tampa would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not
And I was like, hey, I get it. Fans want to travel. I just think Nebraska to be in OKC, they had to put them on the 4 line.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't going to make the 3 line in OKC.
It
seems like
that's what it boiled down to for me.
It seems like they were stuck on the 4 line anyway after
which I was a little surprised.
Virginia, Vandy, and
I still think Arkansas. Arkansas had to move a full seed line.
There was one more. Virginia, Vandy.
I was tweeting real time about people that I felt like
Purdue.
Yeah, Purdue was helped mightily.
So going into the tournament, they jumped 2 full seed lines.
Yeah.
They were a 4.
Yeah.
So those 3 teams
I couldn't believe it.
Those 3 teams kept Nebraska out of the 3 line.
Yep.
Virginia, Vandy, and Purdue were all 3 of those teams had to make runs to keep Nebraska off the 3 line, which is fine. Like I said, I don't think this is a bad matchup, and you end up close, so I think you're okay there. But that's I thought they were a lock for the 3 even after the early exit, and there was just too many deep runs by teams that were right around them.
Yeah, and I was looking for. So once I figured they were going to be closer to the 4 than the 3. And then I just look at all the 5s I would want of the 5s, because I thought I thought originally Arkansas was going to be a 5, so I wanted to avoid them. They ended up being a 4.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so Nebraska theoretically gets Vandy. Alabama gets Texas Tech, which is probably the one you'd want.
I wanted Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean, because I 100% did not want St. John's. That would have been a nightmare.
Somebody was trying to sell me on that yesterday. I was like, do you
get the F out of here? St. John's for Nebraska?
Listen.
That would be Zuby Ejiofor would have 400 rebounds.
I'm just going to tell you.
That would be a nightmare.
I let him off the hook after he called me dumb. I just realized anything else I say after that is not really going to matter. But St. John's was a nightmare.
That's by far. That might be
for Nebraska.
That might be the worst matchup in the entire field for Nebraska.
I mean, if I could have spelled Ejiofor, I would have just said.
I just said Zuby.
I would have, or as my man Gus Johnson likes to say, Zuby doo. I was like, knock it off, Gus.
He's an adult. Stop it, Gus.
But I don't agree with that either. Big Red Gun, but.
What did he say?
That this is the best draw Nebraska could ask for. But I'm not going to worry about it. We can split hairs over which 5s you'd want to see if you get past the first game. But
does he mean? I mean, he might be talking more. He might be talking more Troy than.
Yeah, I hope so, because
Troy's not a bad matchup. I don't think at all.
Vandy's going to be tough on Nebraska defensively.
Yeah, especially because they're playing well now. They kind of figured it back out.
Vandy's offense. I used to honk for Vandy.
Yeah,
that offense is going to be a problem.
So them and Purdue basically steered the thing out of the ditch in the last month or so.
100%.
Or not even that long for Purdue, because they were not playing well.
I owe Purdue an apology. Apparently
they did not. They weren't playing well at all. And then all of a sudden there's oh no, we're good again. Don't worry about it.
And
it was very light switchy for them. It wasn't gradual.
And the other way, Michigan looked poor. They just inexplicably stopped guarding the 3-point line.
So I got to give you a little credit there because you asked me about Kaysen and I was pretty dismissive of it. And it seems like a way bigger deal.
I thought it was a big deal.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like it was. They have not looked the same.
I almost backed off of them. Yeah. And you were like, he's a backup point guard. I was like, I don't know, man. He logs good minutes and he guards.
He does. Yeah. So like defensively, they've looked way different and they have not looked like the same team since he got injured.
Yeah.
That's not a great.
I appreciate you remembering.
Yeah. I was very dismissive of it and I was wrong. Like that they have not looked like the same team. Honestly, it looks like a way you would have thought they lost a starter, how different they look.
Yeah. And now their bigs are initiating offense. Almost like Wolf and
like last year.
Like last year.
Yeah.
Between Lunenborg and Mara.
Mara, yeah. So because Johnson doesn't really at all. But so I would definitely have taken Texas Tech.
Dude, him getting more minutes. I don't know if that was a good thing.
Morris Johnson?
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Morris Johnson guy.
So who's the fan? Is it DeMarinis? Somebody likes him in our chat.
It might be. He just looks like a guy that the Bulls would eventually draft too high. So maybe he's getting used to it already.
Yeah. So I'm just like,
who would you have wanted for the 13s as a matchup? So you got Hofstra, Troy, Cal Baptist, and
I wanted Cal Baptist.
So Cal Baptist was.
That's why I was hoping they would go to Portland. Get Cal Baptist and then get a chance to play Tech. I actually was cheering for Katz's.
To play out.
Yep.
Yeah. So you know what's funny?
I wanted Cal Baptist and I wanted Texas Tech.
Kansas is the exact same number favorite over Cal Baptist as Nebraska is over Troy. Both 13.5.
You know, I don't understand. Why did they do that to Duke? Duke's the number 1 overall seed.
Putting St. John's in their region is foul.
The whole region is grimy.
Putting UConn, who was the next seed, I would imagine, right? They were the 5th team, right? They couldn't have been anybody else, was it?
No.
So UConn was the 5th seed. So they're.
Don't you think the East is the toughest region?
I think so. So I was looking at the Midwest a lot.
Yeah.
And that
I would listen to that.
That is setting itself up for Iowa State or Virginia to make a Final Four run. Because you've got Michigan at the top, who we both are kind of iffy on right now. You've got Texas Tech and Alabama. So I think Alabama gets through there, but they can't guard anybody. So they're going to get beat.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee doesn't really scare me. Kentucky is not very good. So Iowa State and Virginia have a nice setup to the Final Four. Like that's for them. I think that's a super
Are you
favorable
back
region.
in on Virginia? Who we saw the Virginia we saw against Duke the second time was the Virginia that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Not the one that got beat by 30. But the first time you see Duke defensively like that and Cameron, like it's just an elite level defensive team. But for a number 1 overall seed, they shouldn't be in the discussion of the toughest region.
No, they shouldn't at all. Honestly,
I'm not lobbying for Duke by any means, but that's a tough region.
I honestly I don't mind Florida's region. I don't mind the region Nebraska's in until Houston. Florida doesn't really have a bad matchup.
I know.
Because
did you see how they inexplicably couldn't value the Rock against Vandy?
Yeah, that was weird. That was super weird.
Like, wow, what team is this?
I have that's a team, and that's a team that had been cruising.
Oh, I know. Just cruise control.
Like double-digit win streak heading into that game, and then just got their doors beat off.
So then it turned into, wow, St. John's is a 5. Like somebody will have to explain to me how UConn is a 2 and St. John's is a 5.
Yeah, so I think St. John's was so bad in the non-con that I think that killed them. So they lost all of their good opportunities in the non-con, basically.
Almost.
They lost to Bama. They lost to Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Auburn, but Auburn sucks. They lost to Auburn. Sorry, they beat Baylor. They lost to Auburn, who sucks. They lost to Kentucky. They lost. That's all of them. So their best non-conference win is Baylor. Their next one is Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So they didn't beat a tournament team in the non-conference.
Yeah, I understand.
So I get that part. They did run roughshod over the Big East, but nobody likes the Big East this year.
It's where you have to that's where I would say, and you're a Big East honk, but you watch St. John's play, like, let's say UConn, which is actually what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So you're not in conference play, right? The no scouts. You're at the end of the year, because I used to joke with St. John's. Remember 2 months ago, I'd say, well, how is St. John's scoring? Like, they don't shoot it really well. And I was like, oh, maybe they kind of settled into their offense running it through Etchefor, which I was talking to Nick about. And then he was like, oh, hey, maybe I misunderstood your question. Like, I thought you were talking about St. John's defensively. I was like, no, offensively, I think they figured it out.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch them, it's a completely different team than they were in November and December offensively.
Yeah.
It's not even close. So I understand full well what you're saying about those losses, because the metrics would support what you're saying.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is, just watching these guys night in, night out, there aren't 3 seed lines difference between UConn and St. John.
I agree.
And no one could explain that to me. They kick UConn's ass. And it's not like UConn is, I'm not one of those people that doesn't think UConn is good.
No.
I think UConn is very capable, especially if you don't see them in conference.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but St. John beat their
there's a reason Hurley's good in come tournament time.
Yeah.
The other thing is I don't care about the rest of the conference. Like, I don't, if I don't ride for the SEC in their depth, because for 4 months I would say, man, is Missouri good or is Georgia good? Like, so I'm actually watching. I don't care about,
right.
I do care about Kim Palm and some metrics analytics, because I need a baseline.
Sure.
But when you watch them play, I think, I'm not going to go as far as the Ponzi scheme, but this rallying crying that the SEC did for, like, the depth of the conference, it
was way overrated.
You still you have 1.5 teams that can win a national title.
Who's the half?
It's gonna sound weird.
Vandy?
Yes.
I mean, if you want to, I know we're just talking about not always trusting the metrics, but they do fall into the Ken Palm metrics.
Vandy's capable.
So here's the only reason I bring up metrics over eye test, because I agree with you. Like, head to head, St. John's and UConn. St. John's, I probably like better in that matchup. God,
Kobe can be an idiot sometimes.
I just don't think, like.
Yeah, Kobe. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, Kobe. Anyway, carry on.
I
think he does that, and I shouldn't give him the attention.
I just don't think the committee values that, and maybe how they should.
But it's all they can go by, though. So you have to kind of.
But I mean, when it's not like, so if they look at the resumes and they say, okay, resume alone, metrics alone, St. John's is a 5, UConn's a 2. I don't think the head-to-heads or the way they look against each other like if they were both 2 3s.
What about would you take metrics from, like, the last half of the or last quarter of the season?
Yes. But I think that's where the Big East works against St. John's, is they can look at the metrics from the last quarter of the
last
season.
10 games, last 12 games.
And they go, hey, are the metrics better? And again, if you don't, here's the thing that I don't know that people appreciate about the committee is a lot of those people aren't capable of watching all the games, right? Because just the number of teams that we're dealing with, right? So that's not like a disparaging. It's just not practical.
I don't know if anybody can watch all the games, but yeah, that's a given.
You know what I mean? So I think a lot of them going, well, okay, the Big East isn't that strong, so I can't go eye test and be like, no, St. John's actually is better than they're as good as the metrics would indicate over the last 10, 12 games of the season. They have to go, oh, they're looking at a down Big East and maybe they finally found their, you know what I mean? So I agree with you. I think St. John's and UConn are essentially equal in terms of ability, quality, whatever. I just don't think I don't think the committee values that in the same way. And maybe they should.
I just don't think so if you told me, like, I don't trust St. John, I don't have any problems with that.
Sure. I don't think the committee does that either, though.
But they're not
fair.
3 seed lines.
They're not 3 seed lines worse than UConn. I agree with that.
No.
Would you have been better if they dropped? This wasn't going to happen.
Like Georgia's an 8 and Missouri's a 10.
Yeah, I don't think either of those teams are good.
I mean, like, how do you watch the conference and say, oh, you know what? Georgia's an 8 and Missouri's a 10.
They're basically saying the gap between Georgia and St. John's is the same as the gap between St. John's and UConn, which is not accurate.
Well, it's even worse for UConn and St. John's because it's a 2 to a 5, not an 8 to a 10.
No, I'm saying not from Georgia to Missouri. From Georgia to St. John's is 3 spots, right?
Yeah.
They're saying that's the same gap, and Georgia is dramatically worse than St. John's is to UConn.
And so for the people that pick the location first, this is how you get misseeded because people want to put you in a particular region to make it work.
Local-ish region or whatever.
And I'm just like, start with the matchup.
Yeah. I don't mind the first round matchup for Nebraska. I think after that, they didn't get a great draw.
That's tough.
Vandy, Florida is not an awesome draw for them.
Yeah, I just don't see how if you're paying attention to the vaunted SEC. I say that tongue in cheek that you give me 2 seed lines difference between Georgia and Missouri.
I don't think Georgia or Missouri, either one even deserve to be in the tournament. It's a bad bubble, so that's how they get in. But like outside of, I'll take Florida, obviously.
What did A&M end up getting, a 10?
11, I believe. Yeah, I believe they're in 11. Are they in a play-in?
No. I don't think. I think A&M has to be is A&M an 11?
I'm almost positive they're in 11.
I just
no, you're right. They're a 10.
Yeah, I was going to say but I closed out of my bracket.
They're a 10 against St. Mary's.
Oh, toughie.
Yeah, they're 10 against St. Mary's. They're at the bottom of Nebraska's region in the South. Which
is yucky A&M as a 10. That kind of speaks to your bubble.
No, it was a bad bubble. But outside of Florida, Arkansas, Alabama, Vanderbilt, how good do you feel about anybody in the SEC? And obviously
outside of Florida, who'd you give me after Florida and Vandy?
Arkansas, Alabama.
That's not good.
It's pretty rough.
I don't trust either of the A's.
I don't either, but they do a thing at an elite level in terms of their offensive and just their scoring. And I feel like they did enough to be like, hey, I know who they are and they deserve to be in, right? But
because Arkansas is a 4, right?
Yeah, Arkansas they're both 4s, I believe.
Yeah, I think the Big Ten, the SEC manipulated that nicely.
The narratives the whole year were just nuts. Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm not even totally sold on like Tennessee. Like, Tennessee's not that good.
I know. We argue about that. Was probably a couple weeks ago when Tennessee went on that heater, and I asked you guys, "Is Tennessee good?" That's when I was honking over Ament.
Yeah. Now, getting Ament back is a different thing, and they didn't play with him for a good stretch of the end of the season there. So, like, I'm willing to reserve judgment on Tennessee, but Tennessee feels like a team that should be like a 6 for Tennessee is wild.
I know.
That feels like they should be in that 8 to 10 range where Georgia, Missouri, and Texas
I don't know.
are.
I don't know how. And to Kobe's snark, like that's where the metrics mess with me, because it's what they have to go on, but it's relative to what they're doing. And I get the non-con where you can look at the quad, the non-con opportunities, but the bulk of those metrics are built in conference play, so they get to be measured against each other,
which again is not super productive when you start off with this is who these teams are.
And I think the rank, like preseason rankings have to help, right?
For sure. I know people always tell me that they don't matter, but they do. They influence who we think a team is right off the bat. And all data is based off of some set of historical things that's already happened, whether it's a preseason poll, whether it's your non-con metrics, whatever it is, all of that data is built off of previous sample sizes. And so when you start manipulating the sample sizes that the metrics are based off of, then the data gets wonky. And the SEC is better at that than anybody. So congrats to you guys. But also, I don't think that Kentucky's very good. I don't think Georgia's very good. I don't think Missouri's very good. I don't think Texas is very good. I don't think Texas A&M is very good. And I will withhold judgment on Tennessee because of Ament being back.
Yeah, Missouri and Miami. I think Miami's just a slight favorite. I don't know how you don't take Miami in that one, but again, not to say anything as a guy that's watched both games, but watches games. But I mean, St. Louis is what, 2.5-point dog to Georgia?
I think so. Yeah, they are. St. Louis should probably gonna win that game. I think St. Louis is gonna win that game.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going down to Big Red Wrap Up, and I'm watching Georgia play Florida, and I'm telling you about a guy that just got ejected for Georgia and how the game swung 9 points. Like, I'm trying to pay attention to these middle of this is back when I'm trying to parse through where I think Nebraska could be, but if Georgia's an 8 and Missouri's a 10, it's just
both of those teams. Like in a normal,
I don't know how the SEC did it.
In a normal year, neither of those teams should be in the tournament.
I don't know how they did it.
And I'm going to be honest, we're kind of letting Kentucky off the hook here a little bit.
I asked you 15 times about Kentucky.
That was a while ago.
Kentucky just has weird lapses.
So
they're super talented, though.
They're 4-6 in their last 10.
Mm-hmm. He said, I hammered Miami immediately. I'm kind of with you.
They were 2-5 in their last 7 in the regular season. Their wins in the so conference tournaments can be a little misleading sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get a good seed, you're probably going to win a couple if you're not a terrible team, right? Kentucky goes and beats LSU. Okay, whoop-de-doo. And Missouri.
Whoop-de-doo.
And then they go and they get beat by Florida, right? So, because we just had this thing with Nebraska, right? If Nebraska doesn't get a triple bye, you play worse teams and you get a couple wins. You get the triple bye and you're like, hey, you get to start off with Purdue, right? That's kind of the nature of it. It's a sort of a double-edged sword there. But, so I don't know how much value to put in the couple games that Kentucky won in the SEC tournament because I don't think anything about LSU especially. And I'm not in love with Missouri, as we've established. So I sit here and I go, okay, in their last 7 games before the conference tournament, they got a win against South Carolina, who not good. And then they got a win against Vanderbilt. So that's a good win. Other than that, they lost to Florida, Georgia, Auburn, Texas A&M, and Florida again. So what do I do with Kentucky?
Yeah. No, you get no argument from me.
And how does a 13-loss Kentucky team skate in as a 7? A 7. They have 13 losses.
I was shocked.
Do we love any of their wins? Let's go through their wins in the non-con.
For everybody to hammer on the Big East, which wasn't a great conference, when I said St. John's was a 5, we just let the SEC slide.
So Kentucky's one, ironically enough, Kentucky's one marquee non-con win is against.
I should know this.
It's against St. John's.
Yeah, it was early. Yeah.
It was. So outside of that.
Yeah, that was early.
And I'll be honest, they don't have a lot of good in-conference wins either. Kentucky's getting left off the hook because there's 4 teams worse than them that made the tournament. But Kentucky did not have a good year.
Yeah. Again, all you need to know is A&M's a 10.
You feel good about the Mark Pope over John Calipari situation now?
As LC said.
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn, if A&M has a case, then, and I'm not honking for Auburn, but Auburn was wasn't Auburn ahead of A&M in the net rankings?
I think so. They were
by 3 or 4 spots, maybe. It was like 41-39, or that's not 4 spots. 43-39.
38-44 in the final. 38.
Advantage Auburn, right?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I'm not near as dumb as Kobe makes me out to be.
You know what wasn't to their advantage?
What's that?
Not winning very many basketball games.
I know. Could you? If we would have fallen for the scheduling propaganda,
I would have lost it. We'd be having a very different conversation this morning. I would have lost my mind.
Boy.
Hey, I'm tripping.
That's a bad basketball team. They proved it to you the entire season. They're a bad basketball team.
That's primarily the reason I didn't want to let LC off the hook with, well, if they would have scheduled 3 more cupcakes, because if you take the strength of schedule out of it,
There is no argument.
And they still didn't beat any good teams.
No. Their literal entire argument is quality losses. Their entire argument. And I'm going to tell you something. Unless you win a few of those hard scheduled games, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
I completely agree.
Right? Like, it just shouldn't at all. You don't get brownie points for getting your head beat in by every good team you play.
I agree.
Like, that's, and if you want to get like real nerdy about the metrics and talk about like quality of record or strength of record, and as opposed to strength of schedule and wins over bubble and stuff like that, Miami of Ohio is better than an Auburn, because guess what? Auburn lost all those games, all of them. And you know what Miami of Ohio did? They beat the pants off of most of the people they were supposed to. Like,
I beat the pants off of you.
I get that we look at the only time they were on Sports Center was when they played a close game. I understand that, but they did what they were supposed to against the schedule that they had. What else do we want them to do? Nobody wants to play them.
God, it's hot in here. Man.
Will help, Sash.
It's got to be like 75 degrees in here. I was getting lightheaded. I'm sorry. It was on my face feels flush.
And I know people don't believe me when I say nobody wants to play Miami of Ohio, but they don't. No one, like, they know.
It was not a good weekend for my man, Bruce Pearl.
Bruce Pearl can kick sand, man. Eat sand, kick rock, whatever
Pound
sand, whatever it is. Because I swear, like, the teams do not want to play good low and mid majors. They don't at all. And I have, like, even on a much lower level, they don't want to play anybody. Like, so this is a real thing that happens with coaches, right? I'm coaching NAI 10 years ago, and we have some dude drop 40 on Oral Roberts. You know who won't play us next year? Anyone from the Summit League. We still lost by 20 in that game, but we had one dude that dropped 40 on Oral Roberts. We're an NAI school, and Division I's will not schedule us because they're like, hey,
that was their whole deal, right? Like, nobody wants to play us.
Yes, they tried to play a good non-conference schedule. People knew they were going to be good this year and knew that the metrics weren't going to hold up because the MAC was going to be terrible. Nobody wants to play that game because you can't afford a quad 3 or quad 4 loss. And that's what losing to a good Miami of Ohio team would be. And so you sit here and you go, okay, whose fault is that then? It's not Miami of Ohio's fault that they play in the MAC. It's not Miami of Ohio's fault that no high major team wants to play them. All they can do is exactly what they did, which is go out and dominate the schedule that they're allowed to make. And you know what Auburn didn't do? Win very many basketball games in a schedule that was, I would say, artificially inflated, first of all, by the, I will say, Ponzi scheme of the SEC's prowess. Because all of a sudden, if we're right, DB, and all these teams from the SEC aren't quite as good as their metrics would lead you to believe, then all of a sudden you look at, okay, you've got Ole Miss, who somehow was still in like the top 70, despite being like 15-19 or 15-20, whatever they were. You've got these games against Oklahoma, didn't make the tournament. You've got these games against Tennessee, who we both think is overrated, Texas A&M and Georgia. And all these games, which, by the way, they're not winning. They're losing to Texas A&M and Georgia and Tennessee. And you sit here and you go, okay, and Texas, Texas, who is getting a pass on this one as well, even though they're not a good basketball team. And all of a sudden, if you properly rate the bottom half of the SEC, then Auburn's not even in this conversation. This whole myth about, oh, we scheduled so hard is only propped up by the fact that the bottom half of the SEC was way overrated. Because Houston, Michigan, Arizona, that's going, and Purdue, that's going out and getting it in the non-con, right? But guess what? None of that, those 4 games aren't going to make an impact when you're going into conference if half of that conference schedule against those Texas A&M, Georgia, and Missouri aren't vastly overrated the way we have, because those automatically cancel out the 4 non-con games that you just scheduled that everybody was losing their minds about. And then your 17 and 16 is like, well, hey, maybe we can make the NIT. Maybe we can make the Crown. Like, because we're not having this conversation if the bottom of the SEC is properly rated. There was a point where they were trying to tell me 12 SEC teams were going to get in. You shouldn't have had 10. Like, Texas deserves to be in. And listen, it's a bad bubble, so I get why a couple of those teams got in. But Texas deserves to be in?
No.
What are we talking about here? I don't have an argument of a team that should make it over them because it's, again, terrible bubble this year. I'm not honking for Indiana or anybody like that. But Texas isn't good. Like, if you take an average tournament year, Texas is not sniffing the field.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these teams aren't.
Nor should they. The SEC's prowess is a joke.
We bought it, hook, line, and sinker, but not to bring metrics into it.
No, not at all. Don't want to do that. Well, if we can't do the eye test and we can't do the metrics, I don't know what's left.
Well.
Coming up on the show today, we've got Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. He will join us at 8 o'clock. And then got a little special guest for you, famous on the internet, Ant Wright. He's a basketball content creator, focuses on NBA draft, Big Ten, and college basketball. Especially, we'll talk to him at 9. He kind of came about because he was sort of on the same page as I was with the Auburn nonsense and the Miami of Ohio stuff. So we'll get into.
I should have him do my drawing tonight. So does this sound interesting to you?
What's up?
This is, and people may do this. Just bear with me. So I've got a draft tonight. It's a big draft, and there's a fee associated with it. And it said, so we've got a crew, and the rules are, I mean, like, I had to seriously pay attention. Is this how you know I'm in trouble? Probably.
If you have to pay that close attention to the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
I mean that for anybody. Like, if I don't understand the rules of the thing I'm getting into, like, I'm dubious at best.
So you have a serpentine draft. Okay, with a little bit of a buy-in. And it's for all entry fees. So I think there's 16 of us. So 16 guys at X amount for the entry fee. They draw cards to set up the draft order.
Mm-hmm.
Draft picks go 1 through 16, then 16 through 1, so on, so on. It's serpentine. Each team gets selected twice. We'll each end up with 8 teams in the NCAA tournament. You don't draft specific winners of play-in games, so you just inherit whomever those teams are typically, right? Mm-hmm. But this is how it goes. You get X amount for the national champion, X amount for the national runner-up, X amount for a Final Four team, X amount for an elite win team, X amount for a Sweet 16, and you get a certain amount for the latest draft pick that actually wins the game, X amount for the draft pick that actually makes a Sweet 16. So there are all these monetary designations assigned for the teams that we draft.
Mm-hmm.
Am I trying to pick? Do I just keep it simple and just draft teams that I think will go the furthest remaining of who everybody else doesn't draft?
Yes.
Or do I look at okay.
So I've done one of these before, similar, not as many people in it, but similar style where you draft for the teams, and I think the scoring is pretty similar as you get, like, it's the most for national champion, and it's like 1 through 8 or 1. I don't remember how many points it is, but so yes, the strategy and not to brag, but I've been pretty good in this draft league.
Oh Lord.
Is the strategy is to get as many Final Four teams as possible. Like obviously once you get to Final Four, it's kind of a crapshoot in terms of who wins it. But and also I feel like predicting the national champions way harder than predicting the Final Four for some reason. But if I can get
you get 4, not 1. I think.
that helps. 4 is greater than. That's a good point. Despite what I look like, math is not my specialty. More of a spelling guy myself. But the key, I think, is you get the teams just that go the furthest. Like that's where you want to go.
All right.
They're fun. I've done these for several years. I like doing them.
Want to be my wingman?
I can help out. Yeah.
You know the guy that's putting it on. You like the guy a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're fun.
You like him a ton.
I think they're fun. It's a different way because the pools get a little, Oh, okay, yeah. The pools can get a little, I don't want to say stale, but like you've done. It's just a different way to kind of.
I like it. I mean, it keeps you in the hunt, like at all phases during the tournament, right?
That's kind of my point. Is if you've got a couple,
I just may need help doing the math as I'm racking up scratch.
I wouldn't worry about
math.
I wouldn't worry about the math until the end.
Great.
Just get the teams as far as you can, and you'll be in good shape.
All right.
I might also trust the guy that does our scoring more than I should. I don't know.
And congratulations to our state winners too. I was tempted to do a recap, but Sasha gave everybody the day off today, so we can't recap the state tournament. No, it's nice of you. It's very kind.
I mean, people are still like kind of working, but we've been on a heater for 2 weeks straight. I figure it's cold outside. Stay home and maybe sleep in.
At 5 o'clock.
Hey, be careful.
Get your ass to work. See how that's not. I mean, tough crowd.
Guys, you've been working hard. You stay home. It's cold out.
Yeah.
Ravi and DB is slick out. Be careful.
Yeah.
See you in 10.
And knowing Shane's the scariest of the bunch. It's fine. Congratulations to our state and Coach Ball winning with arguably the smallest team ever to win a Class A championship.
Yeah, he might be pretty good. Coach Ball.
Well,
I really liked those.
I know he momentarily silenced the critics.
I really liked those Elkhorn South teams that he had.
Yeah.
I mean,
True Blood and those guys.
True Blood and Costello and people,
they were nice.
People forget about Costello. He was a good ball player.
They were nice.
They were. I watched them a lot that year. When I was scouting for guys, and like they were a nice ball club.
All right.
So was it 10 years apart?
Yeah, 15. Yeah, almost
10 years apart for one Alex Baugh.
Little mighty mites.
First,
Mike has played against those Twin Terrors forever.
First Lincoln team to win since
9, maybe.
I thought it was even further. I thought it was like
9 might have been the last time they were there.
Yeah, it's been a minute for Lincoln. Who was it? Was it Lincoln High?
I don't know.
In like early 2000s.
We get suits Wednesday. He'll know
on Wednesday. Yeah. There you go. It was. It was. I don't want to say fortunate, but it was good for Southwest for the narrative that we had about Lincoln this year because a lot of the other teams
they fell
by
off
the wayside.
Yeah.
So Southwest was carrying the water for the
Capital Copes thinks it's 03. It's 0 something. I might be right.
Yeah, 03,
I may be thinking the last time they were in the finals.
It might be 03. And I for some reason I thought it was Lincoln High because I saw it and I was like, that's not who I would have guessed.
Of the Lincolnites?
Of the last Lincoln team to win it.
Oh.
Because obviously they had a really good run with like Northeast in the 90s, but
don't be talking about my man Olmstetter and Alt Mason and the crew. Rockets, baby.
They had a good run in the late 90s, or I guess like from like the mid to late 90s. They had a extended good run there. But yeah, it was a busy weekend for our high school.
I think we kind of buried the lead too. I know I mentioned it briefly, but the women getting in, congratulations.
Yeah, playing against Richmond.
And I hate spiders, so go do your thing.
Yeah,
snakes and sharks all day. Spiders, your boy is out.
I think I think that was a surprise to most people. I don't think a lot of people thought they were.
So I think I think they felt pretty okay in the morning because a lot of people had them as the last four, the fourth in.
Yeah, like the last team. They were
clearly if
they were hanging on.
You got a couple of 11s battling, then that was by the skin of their teeth.
All right, we will be right back talking to Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. Coming up next.
We're dancing. Just really excited for our team. This is a team that has worked hard. We've had some ups and downs this season, but it's a group that's been fired up to try to just get better over the last week and want to take advantage of the opportunity in front of us. Well, first of all, I'm so thankful to Amanda Hart. I think she was meticulous at putting together our schedule this year, and I think that a lot went into us having the metrics to be in this position to be an NCAA tournament team. When you look at the net, the strength of schedule, the wins above bubble, every area we proved that we are one of the best teams in the country. And so we're excited to be able to have an opportunity to go show that on this stage.
Yeah, well, Rob's an open book. I love being around him. There's no agendas. He calls it like he sees it. He's very clear on the expectations. He'll just have to figure out that when you say these two guys are doing well, there's a whole bunch of people that are saying, well, what about these two? And so you have to be careful calling guys out because there's a lot of guys doing really good things right now. And so, sometimes after practice, you walk in, you remember like the last two plays of the practice, but you want to give a honest assessment of how everyone's doing. But I do think from us, I think they did a great job at San Diego State in their rush packages of getting unique players on the field in unique positions. And so I've always liked those things. I like having packages for players where maybe I don't fit everything we're doing, but I can impact the game in one certain area. And I think he's thinking that way. I think he has a great staff. I think watching the way they work together, the staff is doing a nice job of, whether it's looking at a guy like Donnie and figuring out what position he's in, or hey, what's the best way to handle quarterbacks like TJ and Anthony who can run, and how do we affect that?
It doesn't get better. We break some records and we beat number one team, and we do it in a pretty crazy fashion, being up 2-0 and being in great positions in set 3 and 4 to close it, maybe in 3 or 4, but why not go to 5? And we're specialists about going to 5s, and now we're getting better at winning in 5. So yeah, I'm absolutely honored to be head coach of this team for this franchise, and breaking this very unique record for this country. Again, our fans are amazing, loyal, through and through, supportive, and our team, I think, said a big thank you to our Omaha fans today, to our Nova fan group with that 5-set win against Indy. And I know we're gonna all have a pretty nice and good sleep tonight. It's easy to sleep after a match like this, so I'm very proud of my group.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
You know, you dig yourself a hole. I thought we did a nice job fighting out of it to pull back within 21-19. I thought we missed some good looks early. Unfortunately, they didn't go down, and then I thought we started pressing a little bit, just trying to make plays into small spaces. And you can't do that at this time of year. So, you know, good learning opportunity for our guys. And we'll build off of this one. And then, you know, obviously our inability to finish off the possessions there in the second half really did us in. Our first shot defense was really good, I thought, in the second half, but just inability to finish it off and get the rebounds, and we need to fix that.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We'll have Sam with us in just a minute. In the meantime, so I saw this thing on Twitter, DB. There's an account. You probably follow them. It's NCAA buzzer beaters and game winners. And they put out a March Madness bracket based on which school had the closest proximity to a Wendy's. I don't know why they decided that, but their national champion is apparently Vanderbilt.
Oh, it's directly across the street.
So they've got...
Listen, it's Caddy Corner.
That must be the closest one out of the teams in the field.
I only know. Well, I mean, I know that.
You know.
Yeah, it's right there.
Although, you know what's funny is like 3/4 of the Final Four, not terrible. They've got St. John's versus Vandy, which would be a long shot, but not out of the question.
Don't they still have the Wendy's on 14th in Lincoln? But you know what? Vandy's would be closer.
Yeah.
I think.
So they've got Nebraska does win their first round game by Wendy's location, but they get bounced in by Vandy.
That one on 14th is awful close to campus.
But they've got Vandy, Arizona for the national title. Like, that's not a terrible matchup based on.
Yeah, Big Red Gun asked me which of the ones would I want Nebraska to, what region would I want them to be in?
Yeah.
Not Arizona.
No, I think Arizona is the best team in the country.
Not Duke. Who else do I get? Florida
or Michigan. I think it's Michigan.
I think Michigan.
Yeah. I think out of the three, they're the one playing the least well now.
Florida's huge.
Yeah.
Between Florida, Michigan, and Duke, those have to be the three biggest teams in the country, I think.
Yeah, I would think so. I think Michigan, despite their size,
do it by proximity to Runza. I saw somebody on TikTok.
Yeah, although there's got to be a Runza pretty close to KU.
I saw somebody on TikTok, little itty bitty brother, who said, and he's usually kind of snarky with his food reviews, but like he said, he finally had a Runza.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't gonna lie to you, and the Runza was fire. He said, I know I joke a lot. I was like,
it's too much bread for you.
Fill that thing with I need more. Yeah.
Like when your bread to your cross section.
I want that thing to be like bursting through the bread because it can't contain the filling.
No, I get what you're saying. From a taste standpoint, though, it is pretty good.
Yeah, my favorite version of a Runza is not even a Runza. It is the Runzai at Koji, which is on a bao bun.
Oh, bao buns are so good.
And it's like the best melted cheese I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's incredibly good. Well, you don't even taste the raggedy, stinky cabbage.
Let's get to our guy, Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm good. Sam, I need a ride. Are we going to Cleveland for wrestling or are we going to OKC for basketball?
I'm not going to either place. I will be back in the home office, but all of our folks are going to Oklahoma City.
So the last time wrestling was in Cleveland, like that city is going to do a fantastic job for nationals at wrestling. Sam, I know I'm a super wrestling honk. That's the most slept on NCAA event maybe on the planet. Track and field is close, but it's so spread out. The wrestling is sensational.
It's good. Yeah, they would benefit from having a wider variety of national champions. And so somewhere in there, somebody's going to have to bring the Penn State headlock. And I know somebody did a couple years ago, but when the same team wins over and over, it's less likely to break through. So you got to find a way to disperse or find a way to one school doesn't get all the, they could have, how many national champions could they have? 5, 6?
6.
That's too many. And so, yes, you're right that it's a great event. But one team dominates it too much. And so like, they got to find a way to, to kind of loosen the log jam there. One of the reasons I think volleyball is getting better and better and better is because it is in the Penn State Invitational, and for about 5 or 6 years there it was back in the mid 2000s, and now you're starting to find in volleyball you're getting a wider variety. Wrestling is awesome, and I'd love to see a couple of the Nebraska wrestlers win national championships. Antrell Taylor is going to have probably the best shot.
I don't know.
Although the heavyweight could, he has to score. He has to put points on the board himself.
I'm cheering for somehow to get Trumbull and Ferrari in the finals, which you remember Isaac Trumbull when he was at Millard South. And I just, that one intrigues me. 57 is I think arguably, if it's not 133, I think 57 was the toughest seeding. It was
for sure.
You win nationals at 157. You are an amazing wrestler.
Yeah, it's kind of like it was when Jordan Burroughs was at those weights, 57 and 65 back in the day. There were a ton of incredible wrestlers at that weight. In theory, AJ Ferrari actually has maybe the best chance of any Nebraska wrestler, but it's going to mean that he's got to score. He needs to find a way to get a takedown, because once he does that, the other guy's probably not getting up. Like it's just he's as good as anybody when he's on.
That against Michigan, because he is so good on top, and then uncharacteristically he gave up the takedown late.
Yeah, I think. Again, I'm not a wrestling expert like you are or others are. I think he has the ability to be the national champion. Obviously, he's done it before, so
uber talented.
He's just going to have to find a way to score, and maybe take a chance. I don't know. That sometimes when you take a chance, you leave yourself open for other things, but he's got a chance. Obviously, Taylor's a defending national champion. He has a good chance, and we'll see with the rest of them. It won't surprise me if Nebraska finishes third, behind Penn State and Ohio State, which it'd be great. Yeah, I think they've got to find a way. We don't need to get into a big soliloquy about why Penn State's so dominant, but on some level, you would like to see the sport have Iowa did it for however many years that Iowa did it. When Dan Gable was there and Iowa had the headlock on it, and now it's Cale Sanderson and Penn State. It's got to find a way to get a broader range of champions. Once you do that, the sport grows, and that's what we're seeing in volleyball. Like it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Obviously, you want Nebraska to win every so often, but the fact that the last 2 years, last year Texas A&M won it, that helps the sport. It creates opportunities for more athletes, and so I think that's what you'll eventually see in wrestling when they get around to it.
I hope this isn't too easy. Nebraska as the 4 seed where they are as a 4. Or Nebraska women getting in as one of the last 4 in?
Yeah, in terms of which I expected, everybody by the end of this week had expected Nebraska women to make it. The last holdout in bracketology just sort of mysteriously flipped on Wednesday, which made me believe that somebody knew something and they kind of knew Nebraska was in.
Yeah, without a game being played.
Right.
They
so something happened. I don't know exactly what, but like Nebraska was not in this person's bracketology for a month, and all of a sudden they were in it. And so, and that was like, it happened this week. So I figured somebody was clued in, and I think if you leave the women out, what's the point of the net? What's the point? Like, there's no point to it. If you might as well get rid of the tool, and you might as well get rid of wins above bubble, any of them, if you're not going to put that team in. That doesn't mean that I think that they're playing among the best 37 at-large teams right now. But if you're judging the resume by the entirety of the season, then Nebraska belongs in. They scheduled 2 very challenging neutral site non-conference games, and they won them both against bubble teams. And that's what got them in. I don't think it's the Big Ten, because I don't think the Big Ten got them in. I think what got them in was winning those games against North Dakota State and Virginia. And those games delivered them the bid. And now that they're in, they can beat Richmond. I think that's a team that they can beat. And then Baylor is a team that is very athletic, but will not be difficult for Nebraska to conceptualize, because Nebraska plays teams like that in the Big Ten. So Maryland and Michigan State, Minnesota, those teams are all like Baylor. Nebraska can beat Baylor on the right day. And then on the men's side, I remember a couple years ago when Texas A&M came up as the name, and I remembered thinking, ooh, I don't know. That's a tough game. When Troy came up this time, I didn't think that. I didn't think, oh boy, there's a 13 seed that could get you. If that had been Northern Iowa in that spot, or if that had been Akron, I might have gone, ooh, or McNeese State, who's playing Vanderbilt and has been to the tournament 3 years in a row and won one last year. I would have been like, uh-oh, look out. But Troy's never won in the NCAA tournament. They may not have their best rebounder. It's hard to tell. He's hurt. Nobody really knows for sure, I don't think, if he's going to play or not. Nebraska should win this game. There's no way around it. They should win the game. And believe me, over the next 3 days, they will be played up like Lou Holtz used to play up William and Mary. But Nebraska should win the game. Like, Fred Hoiberg's going to talk about them like they're, UCLA or Kentucky, or, just watch. And the media will probably follow suit and wring their hands. And if I'm Nebraska, I don't do that. I don't play them up. I just say, you know what? That's the next team, and we're going to do what we do. And we've beaten a lot of good teams this year, and here's another one, and we're going to have a lot of fans there.
That's been Coach Hoiberg's mantra.
Yeah.
All week, every week for his press.
It has. I think so. I think you're going to, when at times they played non-conference teams, he has talked about them in a way as, well, you got to worry about Winthrop. And he wasn't wrong. It's just, I think now that moment is upon them, I think a lot of people you should just say, you know what? Yeah, we should beat them. 4 seeds have won 90% or something of these games. There's no reason to be nervous. You just go play your basketball game. You should win. So hopefully that's the tack they take, and they don't play up the opponent too much, because I don't think this is a team that you need to play up. I think they're athletic, but I don't think they're a team that you think, oh boy, if Nebraska doesn't have its, rear in gear, they could lose. Well, they could lose, but they should win this game. They really should.
Get your rear in gear. Sam, so did you like, I know the fans like OKC. I wouldn't have minded at all getting away from the very thing that you're talking about, right? The hype that comes, Kellogg's, well, he said a bunch of weird things yesterday. Mainly we're talking about Troy, but winning the first game, Seth Davis said it. There was this part of me that was like, man, this team's so tight knit and like for each other. Like go get away from the talk and just go play ball. I know the fans frown up at me like I'm crazy because you want the support of being in OKC, but I mean they flocked to Memphis too. So
right,
like the player coach in me was like, man, I'll take a little solitude and dialing in versus the distractions of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nebraska fans would have found a flight to Tampa. Like, I'm not super worried about it.
You know what I mean? There's just this part of me that was like, hey, get out of your own heads and go play ball.
Sure. I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
As you're low-key laughing at me, I heard you.
Well, again, if this is what, well, we just had too many fans and too much. Oh, come on.
That's not what I'm
saying. Go win the game. Just go win the game. Like, it doesn't have to be, and believe me, this is all the stuff, the mental gymnastics. It's like this team feels like they just got to loosen up a little bit. Like, they got to loosen up. And I didn't sense they were super loose against Purdue, which kind of surprised me. But, they seemed a little tight against Purdue. Of course, that was a terrible foul call on Cale Jacobson out beyond the 3-point line in Chicago. But the reaction is just so. It's like, well, there was the game, and it's just you gotta. Again, I think if you give Nebraska 2 halves, they'll take this thing, and I think that's the approach they got to have. Is like over the course of 40 minutes, Nebraska's the better team. They are, and you go get it. And you have a big crowd. Now, let's just say this. If they win the first game, which I think they will, don't you want that crowd for the second one? When Vanderbilt's the other team, and Vanderbilt is very good. They're probably a better team than Nebraska right now. But if you tell me they got to play Vanderbilt in Oklahoma City, and there's 11,000 Nebraska fans on a Saturday afternoon in that arena, and it's PBA South, that's when you want to be in Oklahoma City. What's going to happen though? It's going to be you can't get past that first game. Oh my God, you can't look past. Well, by golly, you could be up 22 at halftime against Troy, and then you're looking past the first game. Like, that's why you want to play in Oklahoma City. Like, that's why. Is like, don't make this a one game thing. Make this a trip. Make this a Tim Miles used to say, and Tim Miles wasn't right about everything, but Tim Miles used to say, don't put that crap on me. And he was talking about the history. And of course, they only made one NCAA tournament. And when he was there, he got tossed and all the rest. But what he was trying to say is, you know what? There's nothing we can do about the stuff that happened 30 years ago. And there is. And so, like, you just go down there and it's just one game. And then if you win it, that second round game, you're going to be glad that you were in OKC. Now you get to the Sweet 16, and it's probably, tall task against Florida. But get there. Get to the second weekend. See what happens. Get to Houston and see how many fans from Texas come out and root for you, and Nebraska fans in Texas. There'll be 5,000 of them too. So, like, just get to that point and see what you can do. And then maybe this isn't just making history, but it's changing the trajectory of a program so that, like, going forward, you are a Sweet 16 program and not just a team that finally won an NCAA game.
Don't put that crap on me.
Sam, you're saying a lot.
There it is.
You're saying a lot of things I'd like to have you speak into existence. I'm just going to tell you that. Whether from wrestling to just win, make a weekend of it, or whatever.
Make a trip out of it.
Like, if it were that easy, and maybe it is, Sam, certainly winning a heavyweight national championship isn't, but the rest of the stuff, Sam, like I said, from your lips to God's ears.
The rest of the stuff all seems doable, Sam. I mean, I spent way too much time watching Troy games last night, and I look at that, and I know people are, like you said, people are going to make Troy into be the boogeyman, but like, there's, that's not a terrible matchup for Nebraska. Like, there's clear flaws in this team. Like, it's an 11-loss Sun Belt conference team, and like they don't do the things super well that have given Nebraska trouble all year. I don't, so that part of it, I think you're right, where it's like, hey, this is a game you have to just be able to say, hey, Nebraska's better. They got to go win this game.
Yes. If they were playing Akron, you'd be like, well, it's going to be about 62 to 57. And you just kind of hope Nebraska holds on. If they were playing, Northern Iowa, it would be like, well, everybody knows what Northern Iowa can do. And Northern Iowa can look at you and go, you know what? We're Northern Iowa and we know all you guys. We're from the Midwest too. We're not afraid. I think Troy's going to go there, and they were there last year. They got beat by 19 by Kentucky. So they're not going to be afraid. But I also don't think Nebraska has to lose the game. And I also don't think Nebraska needs to play perfectly to win. So I think they just need to go play their game, be them, play great defense, turn the other team over, hit some threes, do the things that you know that you can do, and I think you're going to like the result. And I actually think Fred will probably handle it that way. I just kind of can sense based, there was a comment, I think it was, Cale Jacobson said it after the Big Ten tournament loss. And we're not used to being the higher seed or being the higher number. And I'm like, I get that. But that was Purdue. Purdue was the preseason number 1 team in the country, and Purdue is probably better than Nebraska. No offense to Nebraska, but if Purdue's hitting on all cylinders, is an elite team, and they showed it this weekend. Troy is nowhere in that stratosphere. They couldn't do to Nebraska what Purdue did. So they don't have a big oaf the way that Purdue does. It's just sort of throwing people around down there. So we'll just and the guy that they do have might not play. So like if he's not playing in the game, then man, Berke Buchtengel should have a really nice basketball game on Thursday. He should go, 10-5 and a couple of blocks, and he should be able to play his game. And that's they need Berke to play well, and I think obviously they need Price to make shots. They need to be able to get to the rim on occasion, which they didn't do much against Purdue. I think they're going to be okay. Then if they win, they get to play Vanderbilt or McNeese. McNeese is a pretty good team, but if they play Vanderbilt, then it's a track meet, and you're going to have to keep up with Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt's going to have to keep up with Nebraska.
Sam, I'm going to change gears here just for a second before I close out with spring ball and football. Are you when you're watching Nebraska baseball and you're seeing what's happening in midweeks compared to, the midweek bug? Speaking of like these mythical things, right? It was Nebraska midweek games. As the pitching staff starts to kind of evolve, and the emergence of Cooper Katsky and the way that they're playing ball, you think Nebraska is able to? Is it schedule based for you, or just midweeks where you think Nebraska has moved past the midweek jitters?
Well, we say that in a week when they're going to go to Wichita State, which is not a usual midweek opponent.
They have a couple of tough middies coming up.
Yeah, Wichita's could take both from Nebraska. I actually expect a split down there, but Wichita's good enough to take them both. I think that Nebraska's pitching, and some of this comes from Evan, our beat writer, who's really good and knows all the stuff. And I think Nebraska's feeling about its starting pitching is about as good as it's been since the 21 team, that took Arkansas to the limit in the regional final. And so I think they feel that way about it with Horn and Yasa and Katsky, and then whoever their third starter is, and it could end up being Katsky. It could be Katsky eventually, once they play a little bit better Big Ten team. So I think there's that. I think they've gotten enough from their bullpen, but the reality is, they had incredible comebacks against Maine on Friday, and then yesterday's was particularly incredible. I mean, it was 5 runs. And I think, that's a team that is embodying the Will Bolt kind of grittiness of you get 9 innings of baseball, don't waste the last inning, grind, get it done. If you got to get on base being hit by a pitch, so be it. If you advance on a wild pitch, do that. They did that on Friday, where it's the winning run, it steals second and advances to third on a wild pitch. And that's just base running, and that isn't even, hitting the ball. And then, the game winning hit is basically just a chopper in between 2 guys that are playing up on the grass. So you just do whatever you got to do. And I think they've gotten better at that, and they've started to imbibe Bolt's culture that way on offense. But it's still about pitching, and their starting pitching is good right now. And I think that's the really, really good teams in college baseball have waves of pitchers. And that reveals itself once you get into conference play. And then what really reveals itself once you get into the regionals, which is a grueling test of your depth, especially the first weekend. Because if you lose one time in the first weekend, the first regional weekend, you might be playing 4 or 5 games. And so it becomes this absolute test of your pitching depth. And Nebraska, I think, has a little bit more, and maybe they have enough to go win a regional. You just never know. They're going to have in the Big Ten. They're probably the 4th or 5th best team. Certainly USC, UCLA, and Oregon are probably ahead of them. And then, we'll see with the other teams. But big week this week. So they get Wichita 2 on the road at Wichita, and then they go to Michigan for 3. And Michigan isn't very good, but it's still on the road in Michigan. And they have a blue monster there. It's like a little mini monster wall in right field. Yeah.
Sam, as we shift gears to spring football here a little bit.
Football. I love it.
There's
23 minutes in, Sam, we're going to get a football question.
I love football. Like I talk about football year round.
Listen, we're only 12 days out from the spring game here.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe sneaking up on some people, which maybe is part of the whole scheduling thing. As we've kind of gone through the first few weeks, though, is there, like, tonally, when you're talking to the coaches, hearing them speak, talking to the players, hearing them speak, like, what's been your overall takeaway? If you just had a couple things from the first few weeks, like, what sat with you the most?
I think it's a team this will sound sort of cliche or something. I think it's a team that's enjoying practicing football and getting better at football. And I think the team kind of likes each other. I get the sense that the chemistry is pretty good, especially on offense. I think the chemistry is pretty good, and they seem to all sort of like each other. A lot of those guys are back, and I think that helps. You're not trying, you're bringing in one receiver who apparently everyone likes as a person, which helps. And then they didn't bring in any new tight ends or any new running backs. And so, the skill guys are all kind of the same. So everybody kind of knows them and their personalities. I think the quarterback has been a positive addition with Calandria. They seem to like him. And then everybody liked Latif anyway. And everybody likes Caleb. And so I think there's a chemistry on that side of the ball. On the defensive side of the ball, I think it's competition. So I think the general vibe is everybody's kind of looking around, and everybody can kind of tell that nothing is. Maybe Andrew Marshall is a starter. I think I might go that far, and Owen Chambliss, maybe, but I don't think there's a lot of starting jobs penciled in there yet. And so, I think that they've created a kind of, in order to play a lot of snaps in Rob Orch's defense, you have to know his defense, you have to execute your role, and you have to play fast, and you got to play hard. And so, I think those are probably the 4 things that they're doing. And Will said this a couple times, is Rob is very specific about what he wants, and he's very detailed about that. And so the guys that can go out and do what he's asking and do it very quickly and do it with a lot of violence and energy are going to be the guys that play, whether they're the best athletes or not. And so I think those are the 2 vibes. And then the special teams, we haven't talked much about that. I really like the tone that Brett Maher set. I think Maher is an intense guy. His energy is coiled in a different way than Eckler. I probably prefer Maher's energy to Eckler's energy, to be candid with you. I don't think that I think Brett Maher's super competitive, but I think he's competitive in a way that's just a little bit different than the way Eckler was. And so I like Maher's energy. I think he hates to lose, and I think he'll have that unit ready. Now, Eckler had a special gift for reaching kids in a way that got him to do more than maybe they thought they could on special teams. Maher's got to replicate that. and that is a gift that Eckler has. And it's something that I think it's one of the reasons he gets jobs a lot is because I think he's able to connect with a 21-year-old who kind of sees him as cool uncle. Maher's not old enough to be anybody's uncle. So he's going to have to do it in a little bit different way. Or cool dad. Eckler's old enough to be these guys' dad now. And you always kind of look at the relationships and how they kind of form. Like Matt Rule's kind of he's pretty much a dad now. Like he's kind of a cool uncle. He's kind of like the uncle from the Bear, but he's kind of a cool dad too, And Orich is an older brother. Like you look at the ages of the guys. There's no grandpas really on the staff except maybe Phil Snow. But like you look at for example, in volleyball, John Cook had become like this authority figure in that program that he wasn't like their father figure. He was more like the older grandpa kind of figure. And that changed obviously when Danny Busboom Kelly got there because of her age. And so you always look at ages of and like what's Fred Hoiberg? He's kind of the father figure of these guys because his son's on the team, right? But in 10 years, he won't be a father figure. He'll be more of a grandfatherly type. Like Rick Pitino gets to yell and bark at St. John's, and it's kind of cute and funny because he's old and he's like, he's an older guy. And so I look at the chemistry of the coaches and how they relate to the kids, and I like Nebraska's chemistry right now. I think they got a lot of cool uncles and older brother types on that coaching staff.
I think Rick Pitino's the grandpa whose house you never wanted to go over to.
Yeah. Probably.
Probably, maybe. I don't know.
You think Patino would let you sit on the furniture? I don't know, man. He might just, I don't know. Maybe too many rules at old Grandpa Rick's house.
Maybe. He's probably pulling the plate of like, special, I don't know, deli items out of the fridge and going, try this.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a place where he's probably got some warmth in there, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
You sort of mature into, and I think that's one of the reasons that Cook became such a revered and high performing coach toward is that he just sort of, I think that those players looked up to him in a little bit different way. And, as I'm raising my own kid, I have an 18-year-old too. Like the relationship that you have with an 18-year-old and when you're their parent and you're my age, it's just different than the relationship you would have if they're your grandkid. Like it's a little bit different.
Yeah, I argue that with my mom every other day. So I agree. Grandbabies, and I'm like, listen, I'm their father. Like it's different. Like you're right. You couldn't be more right.
Yeah. Like, for anybody who saw One Battle After Another, the best picture last night, some aspect of that movie is a father-daughter relationship, and the way that they relate to one another was recognizable to me. Let's put it that way. Like they love each other, but they also are kind of at each other. It's just kind of the way it is.
Sam, can I just get you out on this? Because I forgot you used to do review. This was like your baby. Why are we just too sheltered that we never know any of these movies that are up for all these awards, or is it like a bit?
Well, the top two movies of the year were pretty well known. Like Sinners, everybody's seen Sinners, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I couldn't.
So and then One Battle After Another. A lot of people saw it. It wasn't as popular as Sinners, but Sinners was like one of the 5 or 6 biggest movies of the year.
Sam, I had a meltdown over Sinners. So like,
but you know it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't. Yeah.
It's better than The English Patient, but it wasn't like an award winning.
Sam, I had to explain the importance to Black culture to DB about Sinners. So
he's absolutely not telling the truth, Sam. I was having a meltdown over like the what do you the symbolism and the ideology of the Asian owned store, and it, like there was a lot more in Sinners than just vampires after dark. Like I kind of that was one movie I actually finally got the depth of. I'm usually watching bad movies on Tubi. So, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, truth be told.
Yes. Sinners. Yeah. Sinners is not quite an allegory, but it's in that vein. Certainly. Yeah. I would describe it that way. So yeah, I mean, now the other movies, I happen to see all the 10 that were nominated.
Surprise.
F1, everybody saw F1.
Shane, did you see F1?
F1 was a good movie. I liked F1.
It's good.
It was
yes.
a good, it was an entertaining movie. It was good.
The scene where like at the very end when he's just like in the zone and that's a sweet scene.
Yes.
Especially in the theater. I'm like, yeah, this is why you came.
So
this is why you came to the movie.
So the brother in that is a really good actor. He was sensational in Snowfall, which is one of the more underrated series.
Was FX?
Yes.
Yeah.
Snowfall was incredible.
Snowfall was really good. It did not get as much attention as it should have because I don't know, the time that Snowfall was on, the TV's the prestige or the attention of the Emmys was shifting away from the cable networks and toward the streaming services. And FX was the station it was on, and so like it just didn't get the same, like most of the big shows, quote unquote, today. And newsflash, a lot of the award stuff is run by wherever the money's going. So like Apple wins a lot of stuff, whether their shows are great or not, because Apple's putting a lot of money in TV promotion or TV making right now. And so like at the time that Snowfall came out, all of the attention and acclaim was shifting toward Apple and Amazon Prime and Netflix for all of their shows and away from FX. Same thing with Atlanta, which Atlanta was a great show too, but it never really found the same level of critical acclaim that a Breaking Bad did or a Mad Men did, because a lot of the attention was shifting toward the streaming services, and Breaking Bad, Mad Men came before that shift. Anyway, Snowfall, good one. That's one of the best. Like it's one of the very best series that's been on the last, I don't know, 20 years.
Yeah, good stuff, Sam.
Sam McKewon, Omaha
That's
World
good.
Herald. Appreciate the time as always. Like a little movie talk in there. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care.
Thanks, Sam.
That is Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald.
I don't know if it was a separate Twitter account or his one that he uses, but he used to always do movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for years.
Yeah,
he's well versed.
I enjoy I'm a big movie guy.
Yeah.
I watch more movies than I do shows in terms of the stuff that I don't like.
Yeah, I always worry about your range.
So movies, I'm much better. Shows, I'm not going to sit through like several seasons of something that's a big downer. But movies, I can sit through 2 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I'm willing to expand my horizons a little bit with movies.
Yeah,
the only thing I just won't do for movies is horror. I'm just not watching horror movies.
No, I get it. And is it Damson Idris?
Oh, the actor in F1? Yeah. That movie's, have you seen it?
No.
It's really good. It's a good movie.
He's an incredible actor.
Yeah. No, he's really good in that. I thought it was just really entertaining. Sam's right. That's a great like movie theater movie where you like go and have the experience and it's like with the especially with I thought with the sound, which I think is what it won for what F1 won the Academy Award for. Like the noise is a very important part of the movie because it's race car driving. Like it's kind of like an immersive experience. It was pretty cool.
That's deep for me because that's kind of how I feel about Jurassic Park, but it's nice so I can hear the dinosaurs growl.
No, I could see that. Jurassic Park is like a movie theater movie.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those like big
difference in our depth.
A lot of those like big production movies like are much better experience in a movie theater.
I am dinosaur, hear me roar.
I'm fairly certain you could have seen like Marty Supreme, the ping pong movie, like anywhere though, because I don't know that there was a lot.
I've never heard of that.
Don't date yourself. Call it Jurassic World.
I'm sorry. You're right. Jurassic World.
Jurassic Park way greater than Jurassic World.
Yeah, my bad.
Jurassic World's wildly overrated.
I'm sorry about that.
All 12 of them.
Shane, did you see the Twilight Zone?
What, the old movie?
No, it's like 2019 Twilight Zone or 2020 Twilight Zone.
I haven't seen that.
Okay, because I watched it during COVID, and I knew it came out a couple years before that. But the guy that I'm talking about is in the black guy that I'm talking about is in the Twilight Zone. Yeah.
So JMP,
I watched that during COVID.
JMP says, I almost compared it to this movie, but I knew you hadn't seen it. He says F1 director is the same guy that did Top Gun Maverick.
I didn't see Maverick.
Very similar in terms of like if you see it in a theater, it's a much more like
plane engines
and just the whole thing. It's a very immersive experience if you get the whole theater thing.
Kind of like vacuum sealing.
A little different, although I know you like the noises there. Yeah. I feel like you're just on vacuum sealing ASMR just on your TikTok. You're just like going through listening to people vacuum seal stuff.
Well, I blame you partly for trying to paint me in this non-food storage light.
Well, yeah,
very good with food storage.
On the front end, maybe not on the back end.
Why does vacuum sealing sound like you're smoking?
I don't know, Shane. I smoked it. You know what I mean? Is Sasha really gonna try to get away with not dropping the temp in here?
I think she did already.
What did you put it on? You went from 74 to 70? 68? It's a secret, sorry.
Hey, it's a secret. My boss is going to come back and turn it up.
Sorry, man. I apologize.
Listen, it's cooler in here than it was. That's improvement, you know?
Yeah. It's food storage, Kobe. It's not just vacuum sealing.
Although the vacuum sealing is a particular...
I like good Tupperware.
Good Tupperware is good.
Good Tupperware is fire.
Can't have that cheap stuff that like cracks when it's in the microwave or whatever.
I pick my to-go orders based on who has good storage.
I actually do appreciate a really good to-go container. You a glass container guy or plastic?
With plastic.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of glass.
Yeah.
My mom gave me one for some leftovers she sent home with me. And it sticks out like a sore thumb. It doesn't match the other stuff. I need to give it back.
I was going to say, it drives you crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a blue top, too, so it's really stupid. It just doesn't fit my eye.
What color are the rest of the tops?
Clear.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
What else would it be? I mean, duh.
I don't know. I didn't know if most of the...
You're not going to make my peculiarities.
No, most of the tops I have for to-go storage containers that aren't from restaurants are different colors.
Yeah, I prefer clear. Oh, the black bottoms and the clear top. I prefer clear, so when it's eye level, I know what's in there without having to pull it out.
Yeah, I got you. I prefer.
And people in my family need specific directions because if they don't see it, they don't think it exists.
I prefer a clear container.
Just have to look. It's in there.
No, it's behind there.
Stop buying things we don't need.
No, it's just. There's a back of the fridge too. Let's take a quick break. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We'll be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
I mean, I think I heard Sam talk about that in last week's media session of, there's so much hoopla that goes on this time of year. And, again, you got to block out that noise. We got a lot of guys that know what to expect now that have played in this format. And again, it's all about going out and executing and, trying to go out there and, play as mistake free as you possibly can. And again, when the adversity hits, when a rough patch hits, it's all about handling it the right way. And, having guys that have experienced this with Jamarcus, with Rink, with Kale, with Sam, with Henry, just the guys that were here a couple years ago, that all matters. So it's important for our guys to go out there and set the tone and again, not let the moment be too big. It is a great arena. There's no doubt about that. Having coached in there, I coached on Christmas Day in that arena. We had a great win on that day when we were playing the Thunder, and it's a great arena with unbelievable fans. So it's a great venue. We'll have a lot of support down there, obviously, but they're very knowledgeable. They're really good fans right there in Oklahoma City, and again, I'm excited to see a lot of Huskers in the building.
So obviously him and Rob has a history, which helped the transition be that much easier. And me and Yoke have worked well together thus far. And I would say the biggest thing is just the details in each position. It's not one guy coaching everything, it's two guys. So now you can truly break those guys up. And even sometimes in the meeting room, you can be that much more specific on things. So I think it's been a good addition to the staff. He has a unique way from the communication standpoint of getting the guys to just fly around, and that's what we're working towards. And obviously with it being so new to everyone, we're not quite where we need to be yet, but you see the guys taking steps each and every day to head in that direction where everybody can go out there and play fast and swarm the football.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are right in the thick of March Madness. We got a lot going on. And I did want to go back and get a couple things that Sam was talking about, though, with the matchup with Troy. Because so he was talking about Theo Singh being out, might come back, might not come back. We're not totally sure. It was a back. Now it's a knee. Not totally sure what's going on with Theo Singh's health. But the guy that the rebounder that Sam was talking about is Thomas Dowd. He averages over 10 rebounds a game. And I imagine that's who Berke is going to end up guarding.
I agree.
And his hands are going to be full.
Yeah, I agree.
Thomas Dowd's a good ball. He's their best overall player.
He's their best player. I'm with you. And Berke is going to have to stay out of foul trouble.
Yes, because he moves a lot. He moves around a lot.
He's super active. He's
a really good cutter. He's going to post up. He'll get to the mid post. You're going to
plays hard.
You're going to have to guard him out. And he is I don't know how else to put it. He's a gifted rebounder because he's not super athletic.
Yeah.
He's a good athlete, not a great athlete, but like he finds the ball really.
I mean,
well.
did you watch Clough this weekend?
Mhm.
So I went into this mode of just isolating on how he does it because I don't know if you guys like watch him. The dude doesn't jump.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
At all. I'm not sure he can.
I mean, barely gets off the ground. Now he does have extremely long arms.
Really long arms, which is the same thing with Dowd. Very
And
long
he's
arms.
strong, but he was.
I think it's just hard to get around him.
You just can't move him.
Yeah, and you can't get around.
He has a good idea of where balls. I know I'm off the camera, Sasha. This is intentional. I don't mean to drive you crazy, but it's because my brain is melting over the heat. She gave me the eye roll like this effer. It's okay. I'm just joking. Smile. God loves you. She's like, yeah, that's fine. Get back on camera. Sorry. All right, I'm back. His position, it's just so much of it and anticipation. I was watching like Zuby.
Yeah.
Etchafor. It's when these guys watch DK from Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Like when they just know they're not leapers. They're not.
And again, some of them are. But that's not why they're good rebounders.
And then Nebraska's lost. Sam Hoiberg got called for the thing that I hate. Boxing out underneath guys. Like, what is that called? Like when you see
here's the real problem.
What is that called when guys are boxing out and they're smaller than the big guys? It always gets called. I hate it.
So here's the problem:
you can't undercut a guy.
So he didn't because
he didn't.
Here's the
He just bootied him out of the way.
And there's a difference. Here's the difference between an undercut and what Sam did. An undercut is when the guy's already in the air.
I'm with you.
Sam was boxing him out, and then the guy jumped. That's not Sam's fault.
I hate that call. Because what else are you supposed to do?
Are you supposed to be able to tell that the person behind you jumped, and you're supposed to stop boxing out at that point?
If you like that call, it gets called
all the time.
All the time.
That's not an undercut. The guy didn't jump first.
It
drives me crazy.
Is he just
not supposed to rebound?
Yeah. Condon got it was in a Vandy, Florida game.
Yeah.
And it's just like
it drives me crazy. It's not a foul. You can't you're just basically saying, hey, if you're smaller, you don't get to try and rebound if you're making that call.
Are you willing to say what else did you want to get to from Troy?
I want to talk about Victor Valdez real quick.
Okay.
Because he has one of the strangest games.
That's a good pull
of anybody you'll see all year. He gives me this is a weird deep cut. He gives me Boris Diaw vibes.
Why? Is this stationary?
Like a non-athletic, but he gets to where he's going. He's almost in slow motion, got really good vision, but not a tight handle. A good shooter, but still scores a little bit. He's a weird player.
Are you happy that I was alluding? I knew kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a weird pull.
I liked Boris Diaw. Randomly, I just
doesn't no real lifts.
Yeah, not a good a subpar athlete.
No,
still finds a way to get to where he's going on the court.
Gets his shot off,
but not a good shooter, but a pretty efficient scorer still. Really good vision, but not a tight handle. Victor Valdez will turn the ball over. Nebraska can turn him over. He does not have a good handle, but somehow ends up where he wants to on the floor a lot of the time. And he is a really good passer. He makes some passes that you're just like, oh, wow.
Well, that's probably 4/5 of their starters.
Yes, they're weirdly good passing team for not moving better than they do on offense.
So if you want to go kind of the anti-Sam thought because he doesn't want you to get worked up or in a tizzy, just go win the game. It's an 11. What do you say? It's an 11 loss Sun Valley or
Sun Belt team.
Sun Belt team.
Yeah.
Sun Valley. It's an old grocery store too. They do pass. They move the ball without dribbling pretty well.
Yes, because they don't have a great ball handler.
They move the ball without dribbling pretty well.
The Campbells aren't great ball handlers. Valdez isn't a great. There's not a great ball handler on the team.
There's no way there's a total out yet, is there?
I mean, there's a line. There might be a total.
They usually save hoops totals. I could see the ATS, but there can't be a total, right?
I mean, we can take a look. We can see what's going on.
There's probably a total. Oh, it's 137. 137 and a hook.
So at 137 and a 13.5 point spread, God, that's a pretty small number.
It's a low number Because
for a 13.5 point spread.
Now you could you see like
70, 72,
like
59?
like 81-67?
That's still too high. That's way too high. That's
It's
like 148.
78.
You're talking like low 70s to high 50s, basically.
I know. Divided by this girl. She wants to fight so bad.
She's had it. She's out.
I'm not gonna fight her today.
70-57. That's basically what they're saying. No, 70,
it's 127.
Okay, so 75-62.
Yeah,
74-61, somewhere in there.
68.5 apiece. I bet you Troy's team total is not going to be over. I bet you. I'm totally.
It's got to be sub 65, right?
I'm gonna say Troy's team total is like 61.5.
Yeah. So like listen, I'm not saying they're the boogeyman. Everything about Troy is they do this well, but right? Like Thomas Dowd is a good rebounder, but they're not a good rebounding team. They're a good passing team, but they're a bad ball handling team. They have a couple of really good shooters, but they're not a good shooting team in general. Like everything has a but to it. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they're the boogeyman or that they're this terrible matchup. It's like they have a big who's a really good athlete who might be a tough matchup with Mast in Gerald Bellamy, but they're not an overly athletic team in general, right? So like everything about them that could cause Nebraska problems comes with a pretty significant caveat directly following it related to that thing. So they're not the boogeyman, but it is. They're a strange team.
Oh, would you lay the 13.5?
I don't know. I don't have a good enough, like, after watching a decent amount of them last
there's
night,
a little recency bias because it's fresh in your medulla.
Like there's 13.5 seems a bit high. I'd probably be in the like 10.5, 11.5 range.
You know who's a little bit of a boogeyman in terms of the matchup?
Who's that?
High Point is gonna.
Oh yeah.
Listen, you already know. I don't have to tell you about High Point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not a good matchup.
They're a tough guard too.
Yeah. Wisconsin's got their hands full.
They're a tough guard for Wisconsin.
There's the 12s are good this year.
And what that line is it double digits?
11.5. That's way too high. That's way too high.
Huh.
So here are your 12s this year. McNeese, who's pretty good against Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Akron playing a undermanned Texas Tech. You've got High Point against Wisconsin. The only one that I don't think there's a prayer is Northern Iowa St. John's. I think St. John's is too much for Northern
I'm going to have to think about that. We can ask Amp.
I think St. John's is also going to beat the hell out of Kansas, but that's a whole other story. We're going to talk to Ant Wright next.
Two good plays on Friday for you, right?
What's
With
that?
The Billikens and Houston Hammer in Kansas.
You did. What's the other one I gave you? I know it was a Big Ten one that I didn't like at all.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. Wisconsin,
you
Illinois.
thought eight was too many.
8.5 was too many.
Which was funny, too, because all week I was like, Wisconsin can beat Illinois.
Almost did. That is hour number 2. We'll get to Ant Wright here in just a minute. Talk a little more hoops here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're dancing. Just really excited for our team. This is a team that has worked hard. We've had some ups and downs this season, but it's a group that's been fired up to try to just get better over the last week and want to take advantage of the opportunity in front of us. Well, first of all, I'm so thankful to Amanda Hart. I think she was meticulous at putting together our schedule this year, and I think that a lot went into us having the metrics to be in this position to be an NCAA tournament team. When you look at the net, the strength of schedule, the wins above bubble, every area we proved that we are one of the best teams in the country. And so we're excited to be able to have an opportunity to go show that on this stage.
Rob's an open book. There's I love being around him. There's no agendas. He calls it like he sees it. He's very clear on the expectations. You know, he'll just have to figure out that when you say these two guys are doing well, there's a whole bunch of people that are saying, well, what about these two? You know, and so he has to be careful calling guys out because there's a lot of guys doing really good things right now. And so, you know, sometimes after practice, you walk in, you remember like the last two plays of the practice, but, you know, you want to give a honest assessment of how everyone's doing. But you know, I do think from us, I think they did a great job at San Diego State in their rush packages of getting unique players on the field in unique positions. And so I've always liked those things. I like having packages for players where maybe I don't fit everything we're doing, but I can impact the game in one certain area. And I think he's thinking that way. I think he has a great staff. I think watching the way they work together, the staff is doing a nice job of, you know, whether it's looking at a guy like Donnie and figuring out what position he's in, or hey, what's the best way to handle quarterbacks like TJ and Anthony who can run, you know, and how do we affect that?
It doesn't get better. We break some records and we beat number one team, and we do it in a pretty crazy fashion, being up 2-0 and being in great positions in set 3 and 4 to close it, maybe in 3 or 4, but why not go to 5? And we're specialists about going to 5s, and now we're getting better at winning in 5. So yeah, I'm absolutely honored to be head coach of this team for this franchise, and breaking this very unique record for this country. Again, our fans are amazing, loyal, through and through, supportive, and our team, I think, said a big thank you to our Omaha fans today, to our Nova fan group, with that 5-set win against Indy. And I know we're gonna all have a pretty nice and good sleep tonight. It's easy to sleep after a match like this, so I'm very proud of my group.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by WRIGHT. He's a content creator. Ant, how we doing this morning?
Hey, what's happening, fellas?
Man, listen, we closet stalked you, so we've been watching you for like a year. We love the X account. I gotta ask though, who does your graphics, man? Because that's kind of the iPod. Like your visuals, man, to go with the Twitter account, man. That's pretty legit.
I do everything.
Oh, okay. One stop shop.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
the kindred spirits here. You got a chance to see the final bracket reveal. You make hay with the Big Ten. Did you buy the whole SEC? My partner here calls it a Ponzi scheme versus the Big Ten and kind of how they were seated given their conference strength all year.
No, I think everything was fine. The one thing that like we need to kind of look at when we're looking at brackets is like, don't look at the program. You have to look at that year. Like, what are you doing that year? And I think a lot of times when like people see a lot of big brands in one region, they're like, oh my gosh, they got this, they got that. I'm like, no. Like, that's not how it works. And you have to look at what that team is doing, what they've been doing the last one or 2 months. And I think it's been solid. Look, at this point, everybody is or has beaten some sort of champion. Everybody's going to be good right now. So you have to just play who's in front of you, take care of your business, and keep it moving. So, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be extremely balanced. They use a lot of advanced metrics. They use a little bit of, human context as well. But I thought they did an okay job this year.
Fair or foul that Duke, as the number 1 overall seed, may have the toughest region?
I would say.
Or do you agree with that, first of all?
I don't. I see how they got some of those seeds, though. Like, I do believe that Michigan State would have been the 2 somewhere else, and Purdue would have been the 3 seed in that region if Purdue had lost to Michigan yesterday. But with that win, I think they flipped Michigan State and Purdue. Now, when it comes to someone like Kansas is tough because they've got NBA guys on that team, but they weren't always playing consistent and at a high level. So you can see where their metrics kind of bumped them down. They have a higher ceiling, but they don't have that complete resume. I do think they have the toughest 8 or 9 matchup, though. I think Ohio State is better than a lot of people think. With like Mobley and Thornton, like those guys are dogs. And when it comes to the backcourt in the NCAA tournament, anything could happen. Then you have, even if they lose to TCU was a menace in the Big 12. So they're going to have a tough matchup either way once they win that first round. But I do think that they have the toughest 8-9. I do believe that it is fairly balanced still, even though that East region is loaded with brands, though. Like, they have the biggest brand for sure over there.
How do you think we slept on Thornton all year as amazing as he's been? A below-the-rim guy, shoots 56% from the floor, 4-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, and he just continues to fly under the radar.
Well, because he hasn't been to the tournament. You're kind of always thinking, okay, these are kind of empty stats. But when he was able to really pull Ohio State out of the bubble and, get some real tough wins and, win the games that they should win and get Diebler in, and I made a joke yesterday before the bracket, and I asked my boy, I was like, did Ohio State get 2 into the tournament? Right? Because I think they would rather that 10-7 game rather than an 8-9
seed, yeah.
Because they were around that 10 for a while, and I was like, I think they're playing their way 2 in right now. Because you would much rather face like a UConn in that second round, or like a who else is there? Well, based off because so many Big Ten teams are in that 2-3 and that 7-10, 8-9. So facing UConn in that 10-7, I think you would rather them than a Duke team. Now, this Duke team is pretty hobbled. Pat Ngamba, he's on minutes restriction, and Caleb Foster is out. Caleb Foster's been really good, especially defensively. They're going to really miss him if they end up playing Ohio State. But Bruce Thornton, great story. He stayed in one place and finally got it done for the Buckeyes and John Diebler. Not John Diebler, but
Yeah.
As you're looking at the top 2 lines, so your 1s and all your 2s, you mentioned, backcourt's getting it done in March. who do you like the most in terms of just their backcourt out of those two top seed lines?
You know what's funny? I was saying that like backcourts matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you look at the 4-1 seeds, it's their front courts.
Yeah. We talked about that, right?
I'd say outside of Arizona.
Well, they're the biggest.
No, Arizona too. Like V-Star and Awaka.
Burries.
They've got a great front court too, but they've got Burries and Bradley who are different than the rest of the guards
teams,
for the one.
To your point, Ant, teams, all four of those teams, we don't talk about them being prolific from behind the arc. We talk about how big and physical and skilled they are.
Yeah, like you would argue, you know, Duke's a good front court, but like if you're looking at the top front courts in the entire country, I think it's Arizona, Florida, and Michigan in some order. But I do think that Burries and Bradley give them a different type of pop and balance, especially when you got like NBA guys at the guard spot and then you got a really stout front court. It gives you a chance. It gives you a chance for sure.
Yeah. I like and let me ask you something about Arizona just real quick. What do you do with Koa Pete where we're so quick to want to say, I don't know how he's going to be as a pro or, you know, this or he doesn't do that. But when he's healthy, and we saw Arizona struggle when he had the leg injury in that little mini last quarter of the season. What do you do with Koa Pete on the national level as an impact player?
Yeah. What's funny is I've been talking about Koa Pete on the timeline since he was in middle school. And I'm cool with his family. And like one thing about him is that he's a gamer. He's tough as nails. He does offer mismatches, but I also think that he is someone who is also team first. I think you still flow with what's been working, but you're going to need him at some point. And then when you need him, he's going to be ready to go. He doesn't shoot it great. Doesn't shoot it great from the outside, but still he is a matchup nightmare. Like I said, just a tough body. But Arizona did a really nice job adjusting, and that's what good teams do. They're able to lose someone and then be able to move things around and really not lose a big step.
And when you're looking at this field, this is an exercise that that DB and I do a lot. Is the bracket's finally out now. How deep do you get before you get to a team that you don't think can win the national title?
In terms of what now?
How many number of teams you think can win a title?
Yeah.
How many can?
Yeah, realistically, yeah.
Realistically, I could count them right now. Who I think can win?
I'm gonna pick 8.
Yeah, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So guessing Vandy is one of those you kind of
Vandy's in there for sure. Yeah,
okay.
Vandy's in there. I like Mark Byington. He recruited me out of high school. Like I like Mark Byington.
All bias aside, right?
Yeah. All bias aside.
All right.
I never visited them, but nah.
Another fringe team that I bet is in that 10, 11, 12 range. Okay. In or out on Michigan State?
I said out.
Out?
I said out.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't count them. I think they could get to a Final Four for sure. I trust Jeremy Fears and I trust Carson Cooper. And I like the growth of Jordan Scott too. I think he's going to be big. They've found something with Scott and Tang. Those guys being able to shoot. Tang's confidence is the highest it's been since he's been at Michigan State. And Jeremy Fears, he causes hell for the other teams, man. Like on both ends. Like he'll get you in foul trouble whether he has the ball or not. So, he's if you have a really, really good backcourt, he can outplay the whole backcourt if need be. You saw the Arkansas game, outplayed them. You saw the early Iowa game, outplayed Sturts to the point where he was just shell shocked.
That's a great pull on Tang.
So he is very, very legit. But I do think Tang and Scott, because they've been missing some shooting, but Tang is shooting like if he gets the ball off of 1 or 2 offensive rebounds, he's going to shoot that next shot. He wasn't doing that earlier in the year. He wasn't doing that last year. He's playing with a ton of confidence right now.
Okay, so and I'm going to try and
12 is the highest number we've gotten to in 4 weeks.
Yeah, recently.
We were at 12 or 13 probably halfway through January.
Yeah, 2/3 of the way through the season.
And then with our national guys, we've gotten down now into the 9 or 10. You're the first person in a while. I'm curious. Go ahead.
So there have been so many injuries. Like there have been so many injuries for me where I'm like, it's getting kind of shaky. Like Michigan, LJ Kaysen, huge injury. Duke, Pat, and Caleb Foster, big injuries. Like these are really, really important people who are going down. So like all that comes into play.
Is UConn on the list?
No, they're not.
Okay. So
no, they're not on my list.
Who else from the top 2 seed lines didn't make it? Was it just UConn, or do you have Purdue in there or out?
Who else did not make it? I didn't put Purdue.
Okay.
I did not put UConn.
Okay.
Those 2.
So no Purdue, UConn, or Michigan State.
There has to be some threes.
So Virginia, did they make it?
Virginia, no.
Okay, you said Vandy made it. Did Gonzaga make it?
No, not Gonzaga. I only think Arizona from the West can win.
Okay, so who are your
go through this, and I'm fascinated.
Yeah,
so Michigan, I said Michigan, Iowa State, Alabama, because of the guard play. Like Phylon is legit. They don't have great bigs, but the guard play is there, and they have a really good forward in Amari Allen. And we're looking at Arizona, Arkansas.
Even with their defensive, you just think they'll just outscore folks?
I just trust good guard play. I just trust good guard play. Guard play just goes
as good as just about anybody.
Yeah, like the guard play, I just trust it. I know that there's rules with you got to be top 25 in defense and offense. I get it, but I think a lot of that is there's got to be more context with how different the college game is now. Like guys are older. There's guys who would have been in the NBA right now if not for NIL.
Yeah,
way more Europeans, right? Way more international guys. So I think the balance is a little bit different. We're not talking about 19, 20-year-olds. Like teams got 24, 25-year-olds hooping.
You
like,
saw
heavy.
what Nick Boyd did to Wagler. That was just an older experienced guard versus a guy getting his feet wet.
Yeah.
Like Nick Boyd worked Wagler over the other day.
Absolutely. So I said Florida, Houston, Illinois, and Vanderbilt. Duke, Kansas. What number am I on?
I need two, I think.
Yeah, Duke, Kansas, and Louisville.
What about Houston?
I counted Houston.
Okay, so Louisville interests me. I've asked about Louisville all year. I'm kind of an ACC honk outside of the Big Ten. Obviously, they have to make their shots. If you're going to get past, hey, it's a make or miss league. What is it that you like about Louisville, even though they're kind of undersized?
Backcourt.
Yeah.
Ryan Conwell, Mikel Brown. The what now?
You think he's healthy?
I think he's gonna. I think he's got a chance to play and come back.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, especially if he's been out all of March. So Mikel Brown and Ryan Conwell, if they're vibing, like they've got a shot. They've got a shot for real. Do you put money on them? I'm not saying that.
Yeah, first person that's even entertained me on Louisville, though. Like I like the different perspectives because I've talked about Louisville and Virginia almost all year, And it's just hard for people to kind of come around on the style that Louisville plays with. Because they are undersized, but they know how to play small.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times you either get bigger or you adjust to how they're playing. And if you adjust to their game, that's where they can get you. So if you don't beat them with your size, if you're not able to contain those guards, it's going to be a long day for you.
Okay, so talk to me about Kansas a little bit here. I'm obviously picking up the vibe on the backcourts and stuff like that.
Famous hater, you are.
I've had a hard time. I've had a hard time with the Darren Peterson thing all year. His numbers, obviously, we had the is he going to play? Is he not going to play for a part of the season? His numbers when he plays more than 25 minutes in terms of shooting efficiency drop off a cliff. I struggle with Kansas a little bit. Talk me through that one. I like Badinga a lot. Council, I like his attitude, I think, more than his game. What are you seeing with Kansas that you put them on the list?
Them at 4 is – I made the argument a couple days ago where I'm looking at bracket matrix and all these things, and I'm like, man, I would – like the 4s are more talented than the 3s. The 3s maybe have a more complete resume, but the 4s, their ceiling is higher.
I don't disagree.
I can see that.
That makes sense.
See that.
Because you did it with the 2 3s last week. We should have done it with the 3 4s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3 4s is where it's at. Because that's the difference between playing. That's the difference between playing a 1 seed in the Elite 8 and the Sweet 16. If you get a 4 going into the Sweet 16, you get 4 to 5 days of prep. But they also get that prep too. Do you want to play NBA guards with 4 or 5 days of prep?
I get it. I get it.
I don't know. It's a little tough.
The 4 5s, though, if you look at the regions, if seeds hold, those 4 5s are tricky. I think they're tricky, especially if you're not sure what to do with a team like St. John's.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, do you think the 4 line has a higher ceiling than the 3s? How do you feel the committee did with the 5s?
I thought they were fine. I was surprised to see St. John's. I don't think they liked the Big East this year.
Yeah,
they didn't like the Big East.
I thought St. John's is closer to a 4 than they are as a 5 to a 6, right? That's a really, really good 5.
But I don't know who you bump because so many of the 4s were really bumped off the 3 line.
With what? Yeah,
you know what I mean. So there was a gap. There was a gap between the 3s and 4s and the 4s and the 5s this season. Like Wisconsin, I thought they were going to be like a high 6 possibly, but they were that low. But they looks like they're like about a lower 5. So I thought they did a good job, man. If you're looking at like Alabama, Texas Tech in Michigan's region, that's Phylon versus Christian Anderson. Like that's a tough game. No JT Toppin for Texas Tech though.
Their work started to show late. They got that 2-game bump where they were shooting it well without Toppin, but their ability to endure over the course of a game, Texas Tech may be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. So, but Wisconsin, there's some fun 4-5s here, man. Some fun 4-5s.
Yeah, they're tough. Like if seeds hold, those 4-5s should be outstanding. What did you do? Go ahead.
But back to Kansas. I am a. Let me see. I'm not gonna say fanboy, but I did a middle school video on some of the top middle school prospects that I felt that there were in the country. Koa Pete was on that video, and so was Darren Peterson. And I was like, yo, this kid is legit out of Ohio. He can really, really, really play. So I've been watching his game since like 2020, 2021. He is really, really good. All the stuff that was going on with his agent, I don't really care. I don't really care about that stuff. At the same time, I don't think he has been fully healthy all year either. You can tell with his film, he's less explosive right now. But I just think he's one of those guys where if he finds something, teams are going to be in trouble. Teams are going to be in trouble. Floyd Bidunga might be the most underrated big in the country as well. And then you look at someone like Trey White, who's not a secondary person. He's your tertiary guy who's able to, hit you for 20 in a game. And Council is probably the best. What would you call? Would you call him like
he's
the
a
best
big
gamer?
He's a big energy guy.
He's a gamer. Like, roll the ball out, let's hoop. You know what I mean? I remember one game he had like almost 30 shots, and he had no clue he shot that much.
Yeah, well, he was 6 of 30. He was like 6 of 30 against Houston when they beat him in fall. Guy was like, this dude can't finish around the rim, but he sure is going to attack the glass.
Right. And like he's in the post game, like, I shot that many shots. And I'm like, this dude was so in the game. All he was thinking about was, did our team score or did we not score? Doesn't matter because I'm going to get him back next time.
We've argued, Ravi and I have gone back and forth on Kansas for the last 2 months. And let me ask you about a guy that is really interesting. He's not quite a guy like Ament, who I think is flying under the radar in that freshman crop, because Ament continues to get better for Tennessee. If you're a Kansas fan, what do you do with Atlanta's finest? I mean, Tiller's got to drive them crazy, right? Because he shows you flashes, and then it's like, wait a minute. What's wrong with your shot selection? Where are you on Bryson Tiller?
I mean, didn't he come from OTE?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem, okay?
You don't know how much.
I forget. Like,
so you don't know how much DB's like been in the AAU scene. Like that's really funny for him.
So originally, and like full disclosure, why I got on to what you do is because of as much time as I spent with the shoe circuit. Like it was the last 6 or 7 years. So it's like, we would get on this Darren Peterson thing, and I was like, Ravi, like he wasn't the best player in the country until he was. Like Peterson went and got that title, and he did it from when you were talking about. So when you talk about like where guys have come from in their program, that's why I laugh, because I'm right there with you in terms of following along on the shoe circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. OTE they've gotten better. They've gotten better, but it's quite the Mickey Mouse Chuck E. Cheese show down there, man.
So I want to talk a little, and we can include Peterson in this discussion a little bit too, but I'm kind of fascinated. I know you do NBA draft stuff too. I'm a huge NBA draft nerd, and this is a particularly interesting class of I think of prospects, especially at the freshman level. Obviously Peterson gets a ton of the run. Boozer gets a ton of the run. There's a guy that I like a ton that I think is probably in that top group, but probably towards the bottom of it. Where are you on Caleb Wilson as an NBA prospect?
No,
did y'all see my comp on him?
I don't.
I am interested though, because now you talk about honks. Carolina's a team I honk for 45 years.
So I said his comp for me was 6'10" Gerald Wallace.
Oh,
old school.
Oh, that's interesting.
Before Gerald started rocking the headband, because
like
in the headbands, like he went to shooting threes. Like which Gerald Wallace are we talking about?
The good one.
Okay,
the good Gerald. Can't really shoot it, but high energy. Every game he is going to give you everything you need, and he's going to be one of those guys where you're not going to question what he's doing. Like he's going to be like low baggage, because he's going to crash the boards. He's going to attack the rim. He's going to try to dunk it. He's going to try to do the little things on the defensive end. But nothing he does is going to be overly finesse and pretty. But he's someone who's going to get the job done. So my comp for him was 6'10" Gerald Wallace.
That's interesting because I think his post game, again, I probably pay too much attention. His footwork and he's crafty around the hoop. He's not like a natural post guy, but he does know how to get his shots off and not get it. So a lot of times he's going over guys, but he's kind of crafty with his moves. You know, the up and unders, the hezzies, I kind of like, he's a little more accomplished than I think people give him credit for. Now he's still raw, but he does work down there.
He creates a lot of leverage, and then when he creates that leverage, he turns on the bully, and then he just puts on the boosters, uses his body, his length to get as deep as he can into the paint.
What's your DeBonsa comp?
Oh, I've struggled with this. I do have a comp for him, but I think he has a unique game. I don't see the T-Max stuff. I said Birkenbag Ace Bailey.
Oh no. Oh no.
But that's like I think that's a compliment.
I was gonna say, is that a compliment or
Birkenbag Ace Bailey? Okay, walk me through it, Ant.
Continue.
I just think he's incredibly skilled, but the one thing that I can't really comp to anybody is the way he uses his strides. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him run. It's like he's like walking, but his steps are 15 feet. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen before. But the cool thing about it is that the best players in the NBA have their own style, right? I think AJ has his own style. At the same time, he does have a bit of lapses. His shot selection isn't the best. I see why some draft nerds put him to like 8 or 9. I see why they do that. I cannot do that just from where he is in terms of his ceiling. But I do have him in that like top 4, top 5 for sure, where I can see a team taking him at 1. I can see a team taking him at 3 or 4. So he is one of the more, him and Cam are some of the more polarizing like top prospects I've seen in some time.
Yeah, I understood college Kevin Love comp on Cam Boozer. I don't get finished product pros Kevin Love comp on Boozer. I get the 3-point shooting percentage, but a lot of it is because of the low volume. Do you ever see him playing with face-up game in the league at an efficient level?
Who, Cam?
Cam, yeah.
Cam is definitely tough. My comp for him, I think, was 93 rated Pete Nance.
These are my favorite.
Before you judge me, go watch Pete Nance highlights and tell me that they don't move the exact same. It's kind of crazy. They're a little stiff. Pete's a little bit more explosive. I do like Cam's processing and ball sense a lot more. A lot of people go at his athleticism and all that and lack of it. I'm like, look at the best players in the league. How many are good because they're just tremendous athletes? Giannis? Who else?
Maybe Anthony Edwards, but he does work on
maybe Ant for sure.
He does work on his game a ton.
But like look at what like Jalen Brunson is doing. Look at what Luka is doing. Look at what SGA is doing. None of these guys are super athletic. Like that's just not like, I think the athleticism sometimes gets a little bit overvalued. And I think it puts up blinders to what type of prospect these guys can be. So I do like Cam. He's number 2 for me. I do like his game. I trust his game. I think he could be a face-up guy. He's young. He doesn't turn 19 until what, July?
Super young.
So like he's gonna be all right. He's gonna
All
be
right.
all right. I trust it.
Along the athleticism lines, I think he's equally as polarizing. Who am I going to say?
Keaton Wagler.
100%.
Ooh, here we go.
I hope you're with me. I don't know. He gives me pause. Are you laughing at me or are you laughing with me because we're like on an island?
No, it's because he ascended and then people started looking at his game way too early. Like if he started ascending now, top 5, easy. A lot of things that's
an interesting point.
Because he went from unknown to not unknown, but you know what I mean.
Under the radar,
he shot up very, very quickly. He has good size. Where he's going to excel is his shooting is doing a lot of heavy lifting right now. His shooting and his processing is doing a lot of heavy lifting. He struggled a bit against strength. He struggled with finishing at a high level around the rim. He struggled a bit, with his athletics, but I think someone like him, I think a couple of his issues he can work on. Sometimes people have things that's just who they are. He could put on some weight. He could put on some weight. He could figure out some things, but there's no reason he can't be like a Brunson where he's a little bit bigger, uses his body well. He goes kind of his own speed. He shoots the ball well on the outside.
You think he could get away with not being like he's not an elite level ball handler, but he is crafty.
He's very crafty.
And I look at guys like Knipple now who can get his own shot, and he was an angle guy in college, wasn't a blow by guy. Yeah. So maybe there's a place for that, but
Knipple's huge though. Knipple's like
so strong.
Yeah, he's super strong. I'm talking about the handle without the ability to go by.
You liked the Jamal Murray comp.
I did like the Jamal Murray comp. Playoff Jamal Murray, not regular season. I'm at the buffet Jamal Murray.
I don't think Jamal needed a ball screen though. I think Keaton does need a ball screen to get by his guy. And I think if he can start doing that, I think then you'll start to see, okay, now we can get something that looks like a franchise guard. But there's a lot more question marks in the last few weeks for sure when it comes to him, especially when the film was out, right? He wasn't doing this early, right? He was doing this in mid-January, but after teams started seeing him, now he started to struggle. Like that's why the Big Ten is one of the best conferences, is because the coaching and the scouting is on another level, in my opinion. The film watching is on another level, and they're going to take whatever they can against you. And, they're going to, as soon as you show your weakness, they're going to take that and they're going to try to expose it as much as they can. So yeah, I like Keaton. I like Keaton a lot. I do think that his shooting and processing is going to keep him in that lottery for sure. But he's got to work on his strength. He's got to work on his first step. He's got to work on more of that craftiness, gain about 20, 25 pounds so he could be that franchise guy.
All right. And so already, guys, we have hoops guys, we got some non-hoops guys. They're like, this guy needs more segments. So just know that you're going to have to be asked back a lot more. That's what comes with, being good at what you do.
Oh, are we live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're live. That's crazy.
Would you knock it off? You didn't know that?
No, I thought we were just in here just rapping. I thought we were just chilling.
Well, maybe that's why people like. So that's totally our vibe, though. Like we say a lot of inappropriate things because we act like we're just at home, shooting the breeze. So you fit right in. Don't worry.
Sound good.
I got two things for you though. If a 5 or lower No, give me a 6 or lower is gonna make a run.
Okay.
Is it more about that they're built for it, or is it more the region that they're in, and who is it?
I think it's gonna be that they're built for it. Because I really like the top seeds of every single group. 6 or lower.
That's Louisville right there.
6 or lower, like Louisville. I'm not gonna say Louisville just because we were talking so great about them earlier. Man, I can go Tennessee because of Emmett, but Jacoby Gillespie is for real. Gillespie is for real, and they got a front court. Felix Okpara, I'm not sure if you saw it. If you look at the Auburn-Tennessee game, Felix Okpara, Elijah Freeman had his head at the rim for an oop. Felix Okpara met him.
Got it, yeah.
And got it. I was like, yo, this is one of the best blocks you will ever see. Ever see. Amazing ball.
He's such a quick leaper, too.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't need to gather. Like, he's just kind of
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what that means, but
could say Tennessee. And you know what? Just because we're live, I'm gonna say something wild. Shout out Fran McCaffrey, man. Shout out Fran McCaffrey.
Knock it off. I forget your expertise is in the Big Ten. And
shout out Fran.
Fans hate him from his Iowa days. And here you go with Fran McCaffrey.
Shout out. Hey, Penn. Listen, Penn is playing Illinois.
It was the best game of the day yesterday. And
that Yale team's good.
That Penn game, it was the best game of the day.
I think that may have been probably the best championship game, period. TJ Power is serious.
I think he scored again.
He went crazy.
Yeah, he scored 3 times since we've been talking. Like he's serious. Like former All-American in high school, top 20 recruit, like legit 5-star. He wasn't a McDonald's All-American. He was not a McDonald's. And the reasoning why is because of politics, which happens. But very, very good player. Went to Duke. Didn't work out. Went to UVA. Didn't work out. Does he even love basketball still? Fran found it and was like, hey, look, come kick it. Come be a guy. And TJ Power took them all the way through. I'm so happy for that group. Man, 6 or lower. There's such a drop-off, man. There's such a drop-off. I'm looking at this here, man.
Is this going to be some trendy picks? Do you know the Big Ten as well as anybody? Do you like? They're not a 6 or lower. You like Nebraska?
Just win one game, man. Just win one. Just win one. Listen, Troy is really good. Did you watch Troy USC in November?
Yeah,
Troy should have won the game.
I was still waiting for my turkey to brine. That was forever ago.
Man, I know, but listen, I think I've watched probably I probably watched 80%. I've watched 80% of Big Ten games this year. And I'm insane. I get it. Troy was up by like 2 possessions with like 20 seconds left. And they found a way to lost.
Yeah.
And this was when USC had Rodney Rice. Like he was still up and popping.
Yeah.
But that's good because Arenas would have taken 30 shots and they would have lost for sure.
Yeah, you know who was wishing Arenas still wasn't playing is Woods. That's how that goes.
No, but right. Troy is Troy's tough. Just give me one win because I'm tired of people mentioning that that whole NCAA tournament. Northwestern has 2. Come on.
All right.
Just get one.
And I got to
give me one.
We'll let you go here, but I got to ask. Some people in the chat were asking about the Oak Hill jersey behind you.
Oh, yeah, that's mine.
Yeah,
well, there we go.
Yeah, that's my jersey. That's not Carmelo. That is my jersey. Says 21.
Hey, I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm taking advantage of your expertise. we almost had him in Omaha. He came in for a tryout. He was going to play with ETG. We wanted to stay close to home. Didn't pan out. He's killing it at Buffalo. If you're Freitag, if you know anything about
Daniel Freitag, went to Wisconsin.
Yeah,
He's been killing at Buffalo.
Listen, would you come back to
No?
Just thought I'd ask.
No.
You're like one of one that would get the whole story on him.
No, I get it. He went up there. Here's the thing: Wisconsin didn't even play a point guard, and they still wouldn't play him. Like they had like Max Klesmit running the one. Like, brother, you got Freitag, right? Is he that unplayable? But it was like some guys it takes a little bit, and if you don't pick up on the defense, especially if you don't understand your options within the offense, these coaches, like, they got to eat. Like, if you're not going to help me keep my job, then I can't play you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it comes down to. So as someone like me as someone like me who has, like, I've started and I've played over 30 minutes. I've also had 2 or 3 DNPs in a row, and I've been on both spectrums. So I understand, like, if you're not hooping, you are not going to play. Period. Like, this is not rec league. It's not the Y. It's not Boys and Girls Club. This is the highest level of sports before you reach pro. Like, it is so hard to not only get attention, but to get to that point and to play. And to play consistently. So, no, man, you do what you do where you are. If he wants to move up, go like A10. Go A10 and kill it there. Those teams are offering for the best players probably like mid-6 figures. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's Ant Wright. Make sure you find him on Twitter. It's Ant Wright is his handle. Ant, we appreciate the time. Great stuff, and we'll have to have you back. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. Didn't know that we were live. I'm still tripping over
Hey,
it.
listen, man. It's a lot of foolishness that happens on this show. So you just want to come hang out. You can eat, you can have a drink, you can talk crazy. Like, we're all family here, Ant.
Oh man, I would have had my big hats and everything if I knew that we were live. I got 4 of them. I got 4 big hats sitting right there. I should have wore one of them.
Heck of a follow. You didn't disappoint. Appreciate you saying yes, Ant.
See you guys.
My man.
That's Ant Wright. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at It's Ant Wright. We'll get him back for some NBA draft stuff for sure.
He says his Twitter account is hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's gonna know? Who could I just ask about Daniel Freitag?
That's a pretty deep cut.
He was gonna be. Listen, he was a great football player too.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin got him to stay close to home, and
then they're like, "We're never gonna play you. Have fun."
Yeah. Fido almost had him at ETG. He came for a couple workouts, and he's like, "No."
He's from Minnesota, right?
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. And he went back. Was it Team Tyus? There was another good team that he was playing with up there, and we thought we could get him, but no, sir.
All right, let's take a quick break here, and then we will wrap up the show. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're dancing. Just really excited for our team. This is a team that has worked hard. We've had some ups and downs this season, but it's a group that's been fired up to try to just get better over the last week and want to take advantage of the opportunity in front of us. Well, first of all, I'm so thankful to Amanda Hart. I think she was meticulous at putting together our schedule this year, and I think that a lot went into us having the metrics to be in this position to be an NCAA tournament team. When you look at the net, the strength of schedule, the wins above bubble, every area we proved that we are one of the best teams in the country. And so we're excited to be able to have an opportunity to go show that on this stage.
Rob's an open book. There's I love being around him. There's no agendas. He calls it like he sees it. He's very clear on the expectations. He'll just have to figure out that when you say these two guys are doing well, there's a whole bunch of people that say, well, what about these two? And so you just have to be careful calling guys out because there's a lot of guys doing really good things right now. And so, sometimes after practice, you walk in, you remember like the last two plays of the practice, but you want to give a honest assessment of how everyone's doing. But I do think from us, I think they did a great job at San Diego State in their rush packages of getting unique players on the field in unique positions. And so I've always liked those things. I like having packages for players where maybe I don't fit everything we're doing, but I can impact the game in one certain area. And I think he's thinking that way. I think he has a great staff. I think watching the way they work together, the staff is doing a nice job of, whether it's looking at a guy like Donnie and figuring out what position he's in, or, hey, what's the best way to handle quarterbacks like TJ and Anthony who can run, and how do we affect that?
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Reminding you to give us our friends over at Next Gen Male Medical a call. It's 402-614-9700. Especially, it's a little slick out there. Make sure you're feeling agile and not getting, slipping and falling or anything. They can help you with some recovery. They got you.
Look who it is, AJ. AJ, you need to go see our folks at Next Gen, man. If you're a little sleepy, you need a little juice. Change Dr. Girlfriend's life for the good.
Get some vitamins,
Yeah, I took a Hercules.
Did you?
Hercules.
Is that's the B12 and something else?
With the maroon juice.
Yeah.
It looks different than all the other ones.
Never mind.
And she's like, hey, switch cheeks. It's like, all right.
If you need somebody in your life to tell you to switch cheeks, give them a call. 402-614-9700. And it's Next Gen Male Medical. Heath says, he's talking to our last guest, Ant Wright. He says, Ant, don't take any surveys from DB's Twitter.
No, Ant's funny, man. Like, I like being able to stretch him. And the Tang pull, like you're not getting the Tang pull, Pull, and a lot of other places. With just the intricacies of like third and fourth scoring options. Like,
no, I mean,
he's just really good at what he
knows
does.
his stuff. I will say, not buying the Troy USC.
I'm not either.
Like
I said, I was still branding my turkey back then. And
that was a long time ago, and I'll give him a pass though because the rest of his takes were pretty good. But that was a really long time ago. I watched them, like I said. I watched UAB, Akron, and Georgia Southern last night. I'd already watched the USC game, so I only watched a little bit of that one. to kind of catch up my memory a little bit. But those are the 3 Troy games I watched. Those are all relatively recent. They're, I think, all in 2026 at least. And listen, everything I stand by everything I said. They're an interesting team, but there's a but for every single good thing that they do. There just is.
No, I'm not even going to say it because they are also not. History says that they don't win these games, obviously, but teams that are ranked where Troy is in the net.
Yes.
Nebraska hasn't lost to all year. So,
and this isn't the type of team that Nebraska has struggled with this season in terms of the hyper physical, the super athletic, they're not a great shooting team, although they have guys that are capable. Like, it hasn't been anything like this. And again, they're just not, and we'll get into this more as the week goes on, but I think we're going to try and track down a Troy beat reporter so that we can get a little inside track on them there. But this just,
we got him for Thursday.
Oh, we got him already?
We'll talk Troy Thursday morning.
Well done,
before
Shane.
the tip.
Well
done,
done,
Shane don't play.
I can hoop though. I got the legs for it.
Not like Ant over at Oak Hill though. You know what I'm saying?
He said, "Hey, what about no? I need that cut up.
What about coming back?
No.
How about the U.S. and the World Baseball Classic last night?
Man, listen, I was glued.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
dude, the drama was great,
riveting. And how about everybody? Like, you guys ever watch baseball? Like, why are we whining about a called strike 3? Like, that happens.
I'm not whining about it. I'm just saying it was a ball
all the time. Yeah, you did say
That's
something.
all I'm saying.
Listen, I read that text. I want to choke you through the phone. I'm like, of all the things to have a hot take about, you
That's
go,
not a hot take.
He goes, hey, I'm not trying to be a hater, but that was a ball, or however you worded it.
I'll tell you exactly how.
And I
worded
was
it.
like,
I'll
what
bring it up right now.
What a moron!
I'll bring it up right now.
It wasn't.
Right.
It
That's
wasn't
the problem.
necessary.
I said, these are the 2 texts I said. I said, I'm glad it went our way, but that was a ball, right? Question mark. I feel like it's weird. No one said it on the broadcast. You said, knock it off, L3. I said, listen, Mason Miller's a type 1. No one wants that to be a strike more than me, but it was low, much like I'm sure Mason's blood sugar was to be struggling with his command like that.
And I meant what I said. Knock it off, L3. It just wasn't the time. I was like literally like kicking my. I was like, hey! I didn't want to yell with people sleeping.
I'm glad they got the call. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm glad they got the call.
There were several shaky calls. Why? I mean,
that one's going to get amplified because it ended the game. You know how that goes.
Are you cool with the antics? Would you guys like Major League Baseball to be played with those antics?
Yeah. Give me a little more emotion. Give me a little more fun.
Well,
give me some juice.
You're definitely getting the plan as all the old heads are leaving baseball and these young pups are taking over.
Have you ever watched like the Caribbean series?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just a different.
Yeah, skirt and pom-poms.
Like,
did you see Manny? It wasn't Manny Machado. Oh, and I can't stand him. So
I was like, don't get me started on Machado. I hate that guy.
No, it pained my heart to see him do it. But did you see Tatis Jr.'s bat flip?
Oh yeah.
Dude, they let him throw the thing. I was like,
have you seen the ones like the
that's
still
a
shots?
Legit it was a toss.
Like, full disclosure, one of my favorite baseball moments from a team I don't care about at all is the Jose Bautista bat flip.
I'm not a Bautista guy.
I'm not either, but that's one of the.
I mean, crazy batting stance, but not a Bautista.
That's
guy.
one of the coldest moments in recent history of where he just hits the home run, stands there, chucks that thing, and then starts his run. Like, that was.
That thing wet?
That thing's cold. That thing wet? That thing's cold-blooded. Like, I'm here for that type of stuff. I like baseball to be fun. Like, give me the antics, give me the attitudes, give me the fun.
Hey, Action Jackson, can you speak with us through those things that Sasha does? Do you have like the mythical God voice thing?
Those might be just
those are just Sasha's. Yeah. Well, okay, so thumbs up or
to answer
thumbs.
this question, no.
All right, so thumbs up or thumbs down, Action Jackson. Did Ravi take it on the chin? Did he get punked by Ant when Ant said Kansas could win a national championship and Ravi was speechless? Oh, he's riding with you. I think you did.
I'm just going to say, I was shocked he included him. I was stunned he included.
I was more shocked. He was definitive on UConn, and I think UConn can win a title. And people hate on UConn.
I think UConn can win a title
Man,
more.
the Big East is bad. The Big East is bad. I'm like, okay, guys.
I think UConn can win a title more than Kansas can.
Quick turnaround on the scout. You guys would be shocked.
Did think that his point on Alabama and Arkansas was interesting about he knows what the metrics are, but with the way kind of the game has shifted with guard play.
I did like that pull.
I thought that was really interesting. And I was like, you know what? I'll listen to that. I'm here for that. Because he's right. Like, Acuff is as good as anybody. Like, if you're picking a guy
to go on a heater,
to go on a 6-game heater, Acuff is at the top of the list.
How about how he doesn't turn the ball over?
He's
like, he's not going to guard anybody.
No, but
he doesn't turn the ball over.
He is like, if you're going to just pick a dude to say that guy can go on, and even more so, I know he mentioned Phylon with Bama as well. Bama's path is not bad.
I know.
Like, that's.
Did you look at UVA's?
Well, yeah, they're in the same region. I brought UVA.
It's the same. It's
I
the
brought UVA
same
and Iowa
line
State
of thinking.
Yeah, I brought UVA and Iowa State up early, right? If that region. Basically, Alabama, if they can get past what I think is a compromised Michigan team, right, and then a Texas Tech team that is obviously compromised, they only have to beat the winner of Virginia, Iowa State, and they're in a Final Four.
Yeah, his point about health was sensational, and I think right now, gun to head, and I won't do the gun to head thing until I have to have my brackets in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll draw tonight, but I get 8 chances at it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and don't forget to join our bracket. Are you in our bracket pool yet?
I will
Excuse
be.
Me.
Yeah. Did this idiot win last year?
Shane?
Yeah.
You Austin?
I think I was in the lead until the very end. Shane, did you win?
Out of the two, whether the company-wide one or ours, I did win one of them, and I think I got second in the other one.
Yeah, he ran me down.
Yeah, I think he won out of internal. He won our group. I think there was a listener that was higher than him, but out of us, he won the group.
Yeah, I thought I was in very nice position to win that thing.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll win it this year.
It's because you picked Houston.
Yeah.
Because you tried to zag.
Yeah. And I got off the team that I had rolled all the time, and I said I'm taking Houston just so I can get the points.
Because you needed the differentiator because too many other people had picked Florida. No, the logic made sense.
Yeah.
Make sure you join us though on the Hurrdat Sports Live pool. We will have a little prize pack.
I want to win a gift card
with Hurrdat brand good stuff and a gift card to the sports bar. You can either find it. It's on ESPN. It's either Hurrdat Sports Live Bracket Challenge or go to my Twitter. I've tweeted it out twice in the last 12 hours, basically. Make sure you can find it there as well. Big Red Gun, it's ESPN. Just look for Hurrdat Sports Live.
He's on Twitter, too.
It's a public bracket, so you should be able to find it super easily. Or, like I said, it's at R.A. Lulla on Twitter. Just scroll back a few past the stuff from this morning's show, and it should be the last thing I tweeted out.
Big Red Gun, I got you. I saw you on Twitter the other day.
As well. So
Talking
make sure you join the bracket. We'll have some prizes to go along with that. But that's the show for today. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Shane, we've had a request that you continue to play the "Have a Good Day, Love You" thing. So
yeah, but people want Michigan Lance back to close the show.
I mean,
that's a little weird.
I
can do it.
We had T-shirts made of it, so you could probably just keep hitting that button. That's all we got for today. We'll be back tomorrow.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.